We have officially started to see pretenders and contenders emerging after the first month of the NFL season. There is one player that is never a pretender and always a contender. That
Will
player
Compton.
is Chevy Silverado. Silverado shows up week in and week out with unstoppable grit and determination. Chevy Silverado is the ultimate tailgate flex with the available multi-flex tailgate and power outlet built right into the bed. And for the first ever ZR2 is the ultimate off-road machine. From tailgates and stadium lots to off-road adventures, Chevy Silverado has you covered. Head over to Chevy.com to learn more about Chevy Silverado. Boys, I am so grateful that you are joining us today on this episode of Bussin' with the Boys. Obviously, we're presented by Bojangles. This is just for Will right now. Mine's outside the bus. My man is stuffing his face. He's earned it. It was a big week. He took a big L, but his heart is now full. We both go back to bleeding red and blue for the remainder of the season. The Bussin Bowl has finally concluded. Michigan is 1-0. And boys, history has officially started. I am so excited. I don't know why you guys didn't start clapping. That is on.
JP, what dipping sauce? Honey mustard?
Joe was on this.
It's fire. I know, man. I know your 10's on right now, but you get some Bojangles.
But you can pause.
Yeah, as you guys learned about in the episode, you can pause your diet.
Now I got a question about this episode. Is this Jared Allen and Michael Chandler, or is this just Michael Chandler?
Michael Chandler.
Just Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Weekend update. Boys, we lived like we were back in college.
It was an outstanding time.
It was an outstanding time. The boys went to Ann Arbor. I thought we were staying on campus. That was a bit of a bummer. We had to ride through some adversity here and there. In the beginning, even before we got in the flight, there was a touch of adversity. We worked through that. Overall, the vibes this entire weekend was absolutely incredible. We went to Rick's American Cafe, and it was around 11. This is the staple of our Friday night. We went to a Rick's American Cafe, and it's like 11:30, and we knew we had a big day ahead of us. And Will leans to me and goes, "Hey, man, some guy just offered me something called cheese. Is that weed?" I go, "Buddy, he's talking about Coke. We need to get out of here." we should probably go. Walk outside the place. This is where I want to give my flowers to Nebraska. That fan base travels so well. For those of you who aren't going to Michigan, the next step is to go to Nebraska, because that fan base is so incredible. The NIL deals they're doing there, we walked outside of Rick's and they're literally chanting for the boys or go Big Red, yelling, "Fuck you, Taylor." Like, it was a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
Got arrested by a cop.
Nebraska
this time.
travels well, bro.
They travel well.
They were deep in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Like in each bar, like standing outside, wrapped around. I mean, that was the only W we kind of took all weekend.
Yeah, you guys travel well. You had a great time in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Two great colleges, two great college towns coming together, battling it over the bus.
Yeah, and you guys whooped our ass. It is what it is. We had to battle the elements a little bit. Our quarterback got hurt in the second quarter. You get down to your third string quarterback, it's kind of tough to overcome that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough deal. Michigan, they look good. They do look good. Their defense looks good. The offense they have a great running game. They're doing I think they take the Big Ten this year.
They could. And like you said, like their defense, they're one of the top defenses in the country. And like the score could have been way worse than it was. Like they're obviously playing in the elements as well. And so they just basically ran the ball because they knew they were going to beat us, and they're moving the line of scrimmage the entire time.
Yeah.
Bragging about it being against Nebraska, I don't know how much you can do that, but they're like, Michigan looks like a good football team. And Blake Corum, I can't say enough good things about that fucking team.
Yeah, and you actually got in his head too. You DM'd this man.
Yeah, I was trying to get in his head early. I didn't know if it'd play against me. Looking back, it might not have been the best move because he was probably a little extra motivated to shove it in our face because he loves doing the whole eat the corn thing. And then I also, after the game, I was like, "Yo."
This is in the locker room.
Yeah, I was like, "Did you see me talking shit about you?" He's like, "Oh, no, I don't see that stuff." So I had to take a weird humble pie. Like, okay, you didn't peep that. And then
weird humble pie.
And then what did he say, JP? As he like walked out and faded out of the locker room and just put me in a blender and kind of just walked off.
He said, "Oh yeah, I've been eating corn all my life."
Yeah.
And it just faded
out. Walked away. That was so cool.
He didn't like turn and walk out of the locker room. He just continued to like shuffle and stay squared up.
Eye contact the whole time.
Eye contact. He goes, "I've been eating corn my whole life." And just wasn't even like, he was smiling, but wasn't like trying to be funny. Like, "Yeah, I fucking got you, bitch."
I'm him right now.
Yeah.
I am. And it was really cool to see Nebraska, like the Nebraska players. We were on the sideline for the game. All the boys were on the sideline for the game. That was a nice little deal. But seeing the Nebraska fans, like literally, Michigan goes in the tunnel. We go down, and Nebraska's like about to start coming in the tunnel. We start dapping the boys up. They're all loving on Will. They're yelling Bussin Bowl, all this type of stuff. And I had like 4 or 5 dudes give me the no thank you high five. Like, you want? Just kidding. You're a loser, Taylor. So the hate was there. Flavor Flav was there. The love
Out of nowhere.
out of nowhere. It was
Live with the Titans.
it was cool. It was a cool experience. I liked it. Pre-gaming before was unreal too. We went to the lacrosse house. Shout out the boys at the lacrosse house. Their ratio of men to women was about 17-1. But those boys didn't give a shit about nothing. They were kegging. They were having a great time the entire time. Their house, disgusting, dude. I had to take a shit during that pregame. I literally went and took a shit, and I thought, should I even flush this? This kind of goes with like the decor of this home. You know,
They were mad though. They were like, "Hey, we got carpet."
They literally
My
said
bad,
that to
boys.
Will. But the boys at lacrosse house, shout out the boys. They reached out to the Bussin account and said, "You guys got to come here. It's gonna be popping off at 12:30." We show up casually late, 12:35. It was electric. Then there's some frat party. Like, we literally have to go to the game, and then there's this group of people. This girl with her boyfriend. She's like, "We're going to." Some sort of a bunch of words that ended up being a frat, and we walk like through these alleyways with them, and that place was going crazy
Bro, the
too.
entire backyard, like a dirt backyard,
Yeah.
filled front to back.
Front to back.
But it was awesome. It was a good little college experience. You want to hit those things, right? You want to get in the tailgating life. You want to see what the college kids are doing.
Yeah, because you go back and you're like, I want to live like I'm back in college again, and like there's going to be a point where you're too old to. Now I know there's some of you out there going, listen, Taylor, you're probably too old now
Yeah,
to do it, being 31 years old, but it was a blast and well
we
received.
get paid to do it.
We get paid to do
Like,
it.
hey,
This is
you
our
guys-
lives.
You guys have to go to the college parties. We're, all right, all right.
We have the best lives of all
Don't
time.
break our arm over this.
Mhm.
But to have, like, again, we're gonna look back one day and know that weekend started a tradition.
That's so cool.
How dope is that, man? Like, we had a trophy. We had a 40-pound trophy made.
And they're playing for it. It's in a trophy case. I got a text from Zach Zinter today.
Can you send it? Can you show me right now?
I'll show you right now. Yeah.
Boys
Maybe
already
I
put it in
can.
a trophy case. After the game, we go into the locker room. And at first, there's like, I don't know if we should go in the locker room.
Yeah, I was just trying not to step on toes. They
Brother.
hooked us up. I was just
Brother,
trying to be cool.
You're Taylor Lewan at Michigan. We got to get in there somehow. We go into the locker room and all the boys are stoked about the trophy. All the position groups are taking photos. Everybody's talking about it. Dudes are talking shit to me. Edwards, number 7, he came up. He's like, "Hey, I told you we were going to get that shit." Just mad. And we're like, "Sweet."
Just mad.
There's like, "You want to get a photo with?" He's like, "No, I'm good. I just wanted him to know we was going to take that shit."
Dude, hey, Edwards, he's going to have a long NFL career. That dude is about his fucking business.
Yeah.
How cool is that
It's
photo?
fucking awesome.
So I texted Abloff and I said, "Hey, can you have some of your media people?" Just press the red button. I was like, "Hey, can you have some of your media people like take like good cameras and get a photo of that?" Because I was gonna post that before we even came here.
We'll have to put it on the YouTube. Show them this picture. That's fucking fire, dude.
Yeah, it's sick. I'll send it to the group right now. But it goes hard right next to the Paul Bunyan Trophy because he's home
Now-
and the brown jug.
Now the goal is we just got to make sure that Sonny, the equipment manager, make sure that trophy gets to Lincoln next year to be there on the field.
I think you need to. That's like step 3 probably. Step 1 is getting Nebraska to sign off.
Well, and the Michigan AD to sign off. Like,
Yeah,
let's not
they've
get it
looked.
twisted.
No, like I'm not even trying to throw shade at Nebraska. Like what? Let me just put this down. With the way what happened in Nebraska this year is extremely unfortunate, and for them to have an interim head coach and then go say, "Okay, we agree to this trophy game," it completely makes sense why they would take a step back from that. I get it. I think you go in this offseason, you make a great hire, get some good recruits, couple of good transfers. You're starting feeling really good about your football season coming up. Then they can sit there and say, "Okay, we'll sign for this." Once they sign,
Well said.
Michigan has already said, "Hey, once they sign the papers, we'll sign the papers." Like Jim signed it, and we'll get the AD to sign it as well. So that's literally the only like piece of the puzzle we need to make this thing official. Now, regardless, it's happening again next year.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Nebraska decides to do,
In September, they play in September next year.
I'm stoked about that because
you
that
already,
cold, buddy.
you already know, like, it's going to be a hype train going into the season. I'm gonna lay out what our schedule is going to look like after you get a peek behind the curtain in the springtime.
Dove.
Looking back, that was a bad move. At the moment, like, can you say Will believed it or was he being a troll? There's a big part of me that believed that we were going to be really good this year.
Yeah, but hindsight's always 2020.
You're right.
You're gonna have the same energy next year.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is gonna come back.
There's nothing to apologize for or feel bad about. Like,
Well, you look back.
I'm legit look like Michigan's going undefeated. They're going to win the national championship.
Yeah, it's just tough when people pull out the receipts on you. Look at what you're saying. You're like, yeah, I do look like a fucking clown. saying all that.
That is hilarious. I am thinking back to when you were pre-capping the entire season. Or going over the entire season.
Previewing the
Yeah,
entire
what the
season.
fuck? We was pre-capping. You were pre-capping that season, talking crazy too. Talking crazy. So the Bussin Bowl was extremely successful. That was incredible. NFL. There was not a lot going on, but a dub's a dub. They don't ask how, they ask how many, boys. And then Titans rode high on Sunday. That's a
perfect Mike Vrabel game. Like they talk about all the inactives. The boys just don't bat an eye. They're like, oh, we prefer to play handicap.
Oh, Simmons is out? Good.
Yeah.
Oh, Cunningham's out? Good. It is one of those things, dude. You just kind of, the boys love adversity. I don't get it. I'm terrified for when they have everybody back.
Yeah, I know.
Because they thrive on adversity, dude. They absolutely thrive on it. I saw no, I'm not gonna say that. But it was an electric game.
I mean, they're up now. Like, what's the Titans record? 6-3.
6-3, and then
same as the Bills.
Wow,
They
that's
did say-
crazy.
they
Same as
said
the
if
Bills.
Playoffs started this week. The Titans would be hosting the Bills.
The Bills, now we can jump on. We can jump off the Titan train. That's 6-3 is incredible. They won. Russell Wilson is top 5 cringiest people that ever walked this earth. Okay. They're not riding. The Vikings, Bills. The game, the Titans game is ending. I literally look at my phone. Will says, this is like one of the greatest games ever or whatever. Whatever you texted.
Yeah, and all the fucking negative vibes, people on Kirk Cousins, they're eating shit right now.
He was going off. But Justin Jefferson's catch in that game was maybe the greatest catch we've ever seen in our lives. And the first one that comes to my head is Odell's, right? His rookie year against Dallas. Yeah, but I'm saying that catch, one-handed, realized that man had 2 hands on it, and all he did is lock his wrist and bring that shit down.
That was 4th and 18.
And 18 with a game on the line. It's not first quarter.
Yes, bro. 4th and 18. Dude, Justin Jefferson is truly fucking him.
He really seems like he's him, right?
He's the best receiver in the league. Yeah. I don't think you can.
I don't disagree with that, but I also in my head I'm like, there's so many good receivers out there.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, another receiver on that field was Stephon Diggs.
Oh, he's a great receiver.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody's shitty if I'm saying he's the best. I'm just saying, like, dude, he is the best receiver in the game right now.
He's going crazy.
Like, does anybody have like stats that's comparative to his? Not only from a talent level, I think his stats are proving that as well.
Going into overtime, he had like 170 yards receiving.
Finished with like 190. He was in his first 3 seasons, he has the most 100-yard games. He has 20 100-yard games in 3 seasons. That's like a record
Of anybody.
He's insane, man.
And he tied Odell for the fastest games to get to 4,000 receiving yards. He's legit.
And I've said a lot of dumb shit this year. But the boys, I did say the Vikings. I did say the Vikings for the NFC North. I do want, like, if people are going to come correct and shit on me, bring out that receipt as well.
Yeah, Tyreek is going crazy right now.
He had a bad game.
He didn't really do much this last game. I didn't get to see them play, but I do know that man. Like, I saw a stat about him and Waddle, and then they're on pace as a duo to like break all the records.
Right. They got a good stable receiver.
That is pretty incredible.
JP?
Tyreek Hill has 1,100 yards receiving already. Justin Jefferson has 1,060, but 1,100 yards receiving, and it's week what? Yeah.
Yeah, but he's also got the ball 12 more times.
He's gotten open 12 more times.
And he's played one more game too.
Oh yeah, there we go.
One more game, and
Hey, I needed that. Keep going.
yeah, he's got 12 more yards.
15 and a half a year or a game.
14 in it.
The most average yards a game goes to Justin Jefferson.
TDs are the same too. They're long. Their longs are literally the same also.
I'm just stoked for Kirk, man. I know he battles a lot of like criticism, and it's all fair criticism. It's like they played a weaker schedule. He doesn't win the big games. He doesn't rise to the occasion of the big
You go to
moments
Bills
and shit
Mafia
like
though.
that. Yeah, you go to Buffalo, you're down. What were they down at half? Like 21-10?
I think they were down 17 at one point.
Yeah,
wild.
because Buffalo blew a double-digit lead.
With
Like
that,
at Buffalo and coming back, and literally you see all the chirps, and I was kind of thinking to myself, fuck, man, they have played a weak schedule like they're playing a good team.
what about that snap on the goal line?
Oh, with
Josh, the
Josh
quarterback
Allen?
center exchange,
and it being a touchdown. I mean, they were. Yeah, listen.
that's brutal.
If he
That stuff
literally
happens.
moved a foot, the game's over.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
But they didn't.
That's a brutal thing to go down. That's a tough way to go out.
That's a tough way to go out, and that's not the first time that's happened with him. Like they also had that Titans had a fourth down stop against him where he slipped. Remember?
Yeah, but he got the ball and was trying. Are you talking about the sneak
Yeah, that's
going
sneak.
in for a touchdown?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, maybe stay away from sneaks for a little bit, Bills.
maybe.
For a little bit.
It's some advice that,
Yeah.
that we could give here.
But to go into Bills Mafia, their stadium, it's loud, it's obnoxious, it's crazy, and do that like that's a signature win for the Vikings to put on their resume. It's going to help them the rest of the season.
Didn't get that fourth and goal stop for the Bills. Like the Bills stopped them on
Yeah.
4th and short to just be hyped. Like we just won this game. Defense just won the game, and then fumbling the snap. That's tough.
That's tough. The overtime was insane too. They literally walked down there and they took 3. And Josh Allen was a man on a mission. He literally ran for like I think 40 yards in that last drive.
And then
You're legit like, oh,
shoulder down on Eric Kendricks.
yes. Put his shoulder down. Kendricks gets his leg and he still hops for like 3 more yards. Like Josh Allen is. I mean, we're throwing this word around a lot, but he's him.
Hey, Kendricks almost got that ball out though.
But he did.
The slow replay from the back.
Or shoots and hand grenades in that one, bub.
On the ball. That's a big motherfucker to bring down.
Yes, he's massive.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that was just a cool game. Cool game to see.
How about Jeff Saturday?
Dude,
winning
I'm
with
actually
the
so
Colts?
glad you brought that up.
I'm bummed that they beat the Raiders. I hate, I want the
'cause
Raiders to bounce back because the boys, but
It's all about Raider Nation.
there's a part of me that wants to see Jeff Saturday successful just because of all of the shit that went on last week in the media.
Joe Thomas in Germany had
Friend of the show. Friend of the show.
I'm a giant Joe Thomas fan. I think he's an incredible dude. His resume of his career, the guy he is, he's an amazing dude. He went on like a 3-4 minute rant about how ridiculous this whole entire thing is. It doesn't seem that ridiculous. Like that was such a staple win. Their offense looked incredible. Like JT was back.
Yeah. I think it's just big. I'm chewing on this.
You're good. I'll keep going. But like for him to do that, and when he was in the locker room post game and he's talking to the boys, say, "Hey, we do this. Toughest team wins. You guys were the toughest team today. You guys showed X, Y, and Z." The way he was talking didn't look like a guy that's like not a coach. It looked like a guy who's been doing this for years and was walking up. Jeff Saturday, like, I want Jeff Saturday to be so successful, except for 2 games out of the year. And unfortunately, we've already waxed that ass twice, so it's all over.
So it's all good.
So it's all good.
I
mess with the Colts, though. I know Titans fans are going to hate me saying that. I mess with the Colts. I think their team, the way they're built, is extremely, extremely tough. They run a good ball. They play good defense. Obviously, huge Quentin Nelson fans.
Yeah,
He sent you an amazing text today.
He did.
Out of nowhere. But literally, I mess with the Colts. Like Jags, Houston, it's not the same story over there, but I think the Colts are a legitimate franchise, and I'm stoked to see that he's
We got
doing
a couple
well.
of the boys over there. Quentin Nelson, Dennis Kelly.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And hey, but Jags and Houston Texans guys want to sit here, they're more than welcome to, but they got to defend themselves a little bit.
I just think it's like, I understand criticizing the hiring process.
Wholeheartedly.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, I understand getting to critiquing that hiring process of it all, but to continue to double, triple, quadruple down on, it seems like you're rooting against Jeff Saturday, like all the stuff that was going on. Like people are coming out with their own videos. Like you said, Joe Thomas, he's going for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think he was on like Good Morning Football or something saying that, right?
Yeah, you see a lot of people like speaking out about it. Like they want to speak out about it so much, but to act like Jeff Saturday wouldn't be like, it's not like Irsay just hired his buddy because he's just, oh, that's my boy, I'm going to hire him as my boy.
Yeah.
Like to be around a guy for 14 years and you see his habits every day, you see what he's about. He's an undrafted cat that made a Hall of Famer out of himself. That's been to the playoffs, I think he said 12 times.
Yeah.
Who's seen a Super Bowl ring, who's played with greats, who understands what greatness looks like. And again, like the daily habits. You're around this guy all the time. I'm sure Jeff, if he didn't think he was big enough for the job or wanted to take on that responsibility, he would have probably alluded to maybe this isn't the best route to go.
Yeah.
But to be confident, like he said, I'm confident in who I am. I've been around greatness. I know I can lead men. You see it. They won against the Raiders. Like, yeah, you can argue all day long like it was the Raiders. Like, so what? They got whooped by the Saints. Other than that, they've lost their play away in every game, which is a funny thing to say. But it's not like they're an incompetent football team.
Yeah, it's not just they're not incompetent. Like the winning record doesn't show the talent on that team.
Right.
There's a crazy amount of talent on the Raiders. Like you still got to play them.
Right. You still got to show up and play on Sunday.
Yeah.
The team to get a W, and then you hear him post game in the locker room, and you heard him before. I hear what everybody's saying. Like it's just, it makes me want to root for him because I do feel like he's in an underdog situation. He's got everybody kind of speaking out against him when he feels like he hasn't paid his dues in the coaching ranks, but the guy understands what winning looks like.
Yeah, I don't know the whole. This is a new world. Like things are changing every single day. Like this whole pay your dues stuff. Like there's a whole different avenues to go down life, and it seems like coaching is now making a transition as well. He might be a trailblazer for this whole entire thing. But how much does it say about the players in the Colts locker room who get Jeff Saturday as interim head coach? Anyone with a phone knows Jeff Saturday was getting drugged through the mud the entire week.
Mm-hmm.
They go out and play the way they did. Like, shout out the boys on that. They fucking came out and did what they were supposed to do. That's cool as
And the
shit.
assistant quarterbacks coach called the plays, didn't he? I mean, yeah, I don't know the ins and
good for the
outs of-
assistant quarterbacks coach. If he's calling the plays,
Right. Well, Jeff had him. He's going to be the OC. Everybody was mad about him jumping the line and doing all that stuff, which is like, you understand the criticizing part of it, but it's, like anything, you still got to show up and play. Like, let's see what happens.
right?
And they win the game, bro. And it seems like the continuity, it might not, it's hard to just say they have the continuity across the board. Like, I'm sure there's some holes just like there is in everything.
Oh, yeah, always.
But for them to come out again and get a win, I think is massive, bro. And I think it speaks to like, okay, it's not like he's just hiring his buddy to do something.
Right. No, I completely get that.
And Quentin did. What a text out of nowhere.
That was a really cool text by Quentin.
Yeah.
Because Quentin's not good on the phone. He's worse than me.
Yeah.
Like he'll go months without texting or calling back.
Yeah.
And then randomly he'll come out, and that was just a cool text he sent you.
Yeah. He was like, Perryman was out, right?
Perryman was out, and
Blake Martinez retired.
Yep.
He sent a nice text. He talked about my play, and he's like, year 10 in caps lock.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
We're playing against the Raiders. You played on the Raiders before. A couple of their guys were out. We need to see year 10, basically.
Yes. That was very well put.
Which is like it is the week of year 10 if we're checking back on the receipts.
Yeah, this is a big week for you. I didn't bring it up in the beginning, and I think we just let the chips fall where they may, right?
Yeah.
Because usually it's not Monday; it's a Tuesday thing.
Could be. I'm like in one of those purgatory. It's like we're sitting there waiting.
You're in that Mormon waiting room.
You're like, do you want to say anything? Like, do you want to? You just wait for it to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's a deal.
It's a bit of a deal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a bit of a deal. We interrupt this episode to bring you Georgia Boot. Georgia Boot makes super good looking and super comfortable boots. So comfortable you will never want to take them off. These boots will hold up in any condition without sacrificing comfort. It has the comfort technology of an athletic shoe packed into a great looking boot.
I'm so upset right now.
Why?
Because we had a missed op.
Why?
I personally had a missed op on the Georgia boot this weekend. I thought about packing it, but you guys know my motto, pack light, live heavy. They're boots. I just wanted to wear my only one pair of shoes the entire weekend. But the boots would have been perfect for that game.
They would have been perfect. Your toes would have been feeling great and looking great. Listen, whether you're working on your feet all day or working around the house or grilling out with your friends, these boots won't sacrifice comfort or style. Head over to georgiaboot.com and use code Bussin for 20% off. Hey, that hurts.
It does hurt.
Yeah, that's a tough one because these boots are legitimately maybe the most comfortable boots I've ever worn in my entire life. But with that, back to the episode. Another bit of a deal. Packers Titans this Thursday, boys. Is the watch party on?
Yeah, watch party's on.
Watch party on at Acme Feed and Seed. I will be there. Will TBD. I will be at Acme Feed and Seed. Top floor? Second floor. We're going second floor. We're watching the whole game, right? I might have to put my kids down, so I might be a little bit late, but your boy will be there. We'll be having an absolute blast. Obviously, we'll have a bunch of merch out there. All the merch that's coming out is going to be there, or what's not going to be there?
We'll have mostly like Titan-centric stuff.
Titan-centric stuff.
Two-tone
All right.
blue, we'll have it.
Will this hat be there?
It will.
This hat's a hitter, too. So all of you who won a new hat, this is the hat to get. I love wearing this hat. It's incredible. Yeah, but we're gonna be there, dude. It's gonna be awesome. Drinks will be flowing. Not so much for me because your boys GPOT. We're getting back on track. But I will be there and
You can
just
always pause it.
this man with the pause. We will not even
Guys, pause right now.
look at that man. Year 10, alive and well. Was that cheese sauce? That's honey. That looks
Honey
like
mustard.
queso.
Am I stress eating? You
You
No, I
might
think
be
I'm just
stress
hungry.
eating.
You think I'm stress eating, Mitch?
He's just shaking his head. Yes, you might be stressing a little bit, but it's okay. Like
Yeah.
you finish that biscuit, work through your feelings when the
Yeah,
podcast is over. You'll be all right.
You're just anxious for year 10. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's not a bad
Yes,
thing.
it's just a weird headspace to be in because you think you're about to leave. You're trying to have everything ready to leave on the Bussin front, individual front, like leaving the family. Then you're like, I haven't heard anything yet today at a Thursday game. It's just like one of those things. It's like, do you like ruffle the feathers? Like, am I trying to just pack the truck up and go today? Do I let it come to me? Do you let other stuff happen first?
Right.
Do you wait till Wednesday and be like, hey, what do we think the deal is now that I know I'm not going to go for another week? There's a lot of those things.
Yeah, it sounds like a
Yeah,
lot.
I feel totally normal. Like you were asking me yesterday. I was going to say, I feel normal to talk about it because again, like we can be optimistic about something happening. And if it doesn't happen, you get a peek inside of like, yeah, we're stoked about something potentially happening. If it doesn't happen,
Life goes on.
life goes on.
We
We're gonna
literally
be
have the
all
best life ever. Like it's not like you're walking into some like, oh, my life's gonna get so much better. Like you have a cool opportunity coming up, but if it doesn't happen, you just get to back into your amazing life.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you have fun doing all the weekends. Like there's a part of you having the anxiety anyway. You're like, hey, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm low key. Like there's a little bit of sadness because I got a 7-month-old. We got the family thing going on, and you just now that there's a kid involved because it's nothing I've experienced playing football at all. Like being gone or being away from the family. You're kind of like, I'm a little bit sad because it's coming up, and I'm gonna have to potentially leave.
Yeah. Be away from Rue, Charo. It is hard.
Yeah,
It is hard.
I'm just kind of waiting. Like
And I
Charo-
almost feel like this situation's harder for you too, because it's not like, hey, I have to go to camp. Like it's camps happening.
Mhm.
Like you're gone for a month, and you kind of get acclimated to not really being around, like being like in your zone.
Mhm.
And then you go in, you slowly integrate yourself a little bit back into everyone's life, while also being mainly focused on ball. Now you're going from being totally focused on Bussin and the family to, I got to be focused on ball, boys. Like I know you're still going to be doing your thing on the bird,
Mhm.
but at the same time, there's just some sort of shock value that might come with this. That's going to be probably making you a little bit more nervous.
Well, right, yeah, and like, yeah, the nerves are definitely start to creep in the closer it gets. You know what I mean? Because it's all been fun, it's all been great. Like training's been going well and all that kind of stuff. But once it gets closer, it's like, damn, I might have to leave. Might have to leave here pretty quick,
Yeah.
type of thing. And then you just don't know. Like before I came here, Charles was like, so have you heard anything? I'm like, sweetheart, you know, I would tell you
Yeah,
immediately.
she'd be the second one to hear
Yeah.
for sure. That's how it works, boys.
Yeah, after my agent.
Yeah. I will say, we'll keep an eye on it all week. This pod's coming out tomorrow. Hopefully, news will be happening before then.
Yeah, again, you never know. And if
Mm.
not, we're 10 toes down.
We're living the dream no matter
We're gonna
what.
continue
We
to
are
stay
living the
engaged.
dream no matter what, bud.
I'm not there. Watch party on Thursday, live and well. South Carolina this weekend, Tennessee at South Carolina, another tailgate,
Yeah.
our college little tour thing presented by Bojangles that we're going to go do. We're going to keep on trucking,
Keep
as
on trucking.
always. But Playoff Willie, just know the boy, for all the GMs that do watch this show, it's alive and well. I'm ready to
Yeah.
go. You're a playoff team looking for somebody, call the mercenary to finish the job.
And you see him eating this biscuit right now. He literally had a workout in today and fasted. That thing's getting burnt away. It's already gone off his
It's
tummy.
melting, yeah.
See ya.
Already got a shit. It's
Yeah.
already coming out.
Already got a shit. Should we hit one of our favorite segments of the week?
I think we should.
All right, I believe it's time. Bloss, are you ready
I got
for shout out? Shout out
I gotta think.
of the week. Try not to chew that on the mic.
My shout out this week, the weather started to officially change over, drop below the 40s this week. So I went ahead and washed the sheets on my bed and immediately pulled them out of the
Orderly.
dryer. Got into my bed, was nice and warm, fell fast asleep. So my shout out, no free shout out this week, is getting into a warm bed when those sheets come fresh out of the dryer.
Oh, man. I thought you might be going to sweater weather. And I was going to be like, it might be recency bias because I spent 48 hours in Ann Arbor, Michigan freezing my testicles off. I would have had to be like, I don't know about that. But I like where you ended up with that. Jackie boy, what we have, baby?
My shout out, no free shout out of the week goes to the shower after traveling. We all obviously
Still gotta get mine.
experienced the flight. We had an early one, and especially when you're on the road leaving, we had to be in the car moving at like 6:45. So you kind of sacrifice that shower for 5 extra minutes of sleeping. So kind of holding out, and then you finally get back to your place, get a nice hot shower, get in some comfy clothes, watch the game. Can't beat it. That's my shout out.
You kind of took mine a little bit, but I think
Whoa! Drum on the back. Drum on the back.
but
Yeah.
it's different though because it's a different type of shower. My shower,
Okay.
Showers
Okay,
when-
freak.
Not November got to him.
Yeah, it's a tough weekend for the boy.
no, it's like obviously like Taylor said, we were freezing our ass off, being outside all day, just like frigid. So my shower is when you get back to the place and you take that hot shower to warm you up, and it's like a shower you don't want to get out of. It's just super warm. You're like, damn, I could stay in here all day.
It does take a minute to get out of that thing, huh?
And you low key like you do this as you're
Yeah,
trying to like get
yep.
your whole body in the
Yeah,
water.
that is
Yep.
so true. Dude, those shower heads too were literally hitting me like right here in the
Yeah,
chest.
same.
I was like trying to get down.
Same, but
Yeah.
But it's a different type of shower.
Yeah, that's outstanding. That's a good one. It's a good one. Garrett.
My shout out, no free shout out, is going to go to everyone on the bus. We've been grinding lately, and this weekend was just kind of one of those, like you guys said it, like y'all have carved like a pretty sick life outside of football. And I was just kind of reflecting yesterday, so I wanted to shout out everybody on the bus
Buddy.
because we're balling.
Nice work. The boys are balling. It's been fun, dude. Like the things we get to do for our job are just incredible. This is awesome. JP, good luck.
No, dude. There's like a lot I could have pulled from this weekend, but the one I'm gonna have to go with, my shout out, no free shout out, goes to Gamecock Nation. I think you two got a little glimpse of it. We're walking along the sideline, and what do y'all hear 3 or 4 times? Hey, go Cox! Go Cox! They have no idea who I am. The Gamecock Nation is rolling throughout the country.
You people did now.
I'm telling you.
You're not lying, but that's the one you pulled from this weekend?
You just heard Michael Chandler. Even though we lost, we didn't lose. We got Tennessee this week. So my shout outs to Gamecock.
We will be there too. We will be there. Willie.
My shout out, no free shout out, goes to winning all your bets in a day, going undefeated on the board. I was 0-5 on college football. I mean, I pretty much lost everything. Jack is on my hit list. He faded me. He asked me who the lock of the day was. I gave him the lock of the day. He went against that. Whether or not he's like, I didn't fade you, I was kind of thinking, like, he asked, Will, who do you got? What's your lock? And I was like, Kansas State Baylor over 52. And then he just shows me at the bar last night. He's like, hey, you're not going to want to see this. And Jack won. Yeah. Jack like won a lot. And I was tight about it. But it's always darkest before the dawn, bro. Sunday comes around, 6-0 on my picks. And that little teaser we put out there, like, did we lose the Bet the Boys parlay? You hate to see it because it was Derek, the king, who is the king and he remains the king. But it's stuff that's what lost us the Bet the Boys parlay. But the teaser and all 6 of the picks, like I was so excited to put the green check marks next to everything, especially being down bad on Saturday. So that's my shout out, no free shout out.
That's
Like it's
outstanding.
an extremely successful day of gambling.
Extremely successful day of gambling. My shout out goes to staple locations. And what I mean by that is you live in a small town, you live in a town, and there's a place you always want to go to and check out. And I got to experience one of my staple locations this weekend. That's Mr. Spots. We were there for the spring tour, and literally the week leading up to this past weekend, all the boys were so fired up on going to Mr. Spots. We didn't hit just once, we hit it twice. Keith hooked the boys up. We had Philly cheesesteaks, we had chili cheese fries, we had cheese fries, we had shakes, we had wings. The boys, listen, the calorie count was up. But going back to where at one point in your life you lived or stayed or been there enough times where you frequented this spot, there's a reason why them photos of me in college look the way they do. And that's because of Mr. Spots. I mess with Mr. Spots, and that is my shout out. Every shout out of the week.
That was Mr. Spots was fire. Mr. Spots was fire. And we did it right this time. We talked about it. We were hyped while we were eating. Like, hey, we ordered the right amount of food this
Yeah,
time.
because the last time was hurt. We were hurt.
Springtime, yeah, we were very hungry. We ate there around 3 o'clock. Hadn't ate all day. My mouth's watering thinking about this right now. Yeah, I need to swallow.
Carnivore diet.
And we ate way too much to where we weren't even prepared for the dinner at night at like 6:30 or 7 o'clock. This time, same kind of thing happens. We don't really eat all day. We go to Mr. Spots at 3 o'clock. We do our best to order the right amount of food. We bodied it. We got 6-inch sandwiches instead of 10.
Mm-hmm.
We got the right amount of wings. We got the right amount of fries. We were living the dream. And then come dinner time, we were back to being hungry.
And it was perfect. Now, the one thing that sucked though was dinner was a little tough. The experience was a little tough. The food was pretty good. That lobster bisque at the Chop House.
Will's face when it first came down though.
Dude. Yes. So if you go to the Chop House in Ann Arbor and Main Street, then you order the lobster bisque. They bring you a plate with little sprinkles of lobster on it.
Sprinkles of lobster.
Before they pour the bisque in there. And so the guy puts the plate down and Will leans over and goes, "What the fuck is this?" I go, "It's the bisque, bro." He goes, "No." I gotta lean back. And then they came in with that little tiny silver dish thingy and poured it all up in there.
Yeah.
That was delicious. The food was pretty good, but man, Chop House, that service, buddy.
It just took a very long time.
We were there for 2.5 hours for something that,
I get being backed up, but again, it's Friday night
right.
on a game weekend.
Like, let's
You're a
pick it up a little
steakhouse.
bit.
Let's start operating at a high level.
Absolutely.
Let's raise the standard, boys.
Yes. Overall, phenomenal weekend. It was a great time. And even though the boys got donkeyed, like you had fun, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, my weekend was not going to be predicated on Nebraska winning or losing that football game. I had to really set my expectation. But yeah, I had a blast, dude.
The thing I love so much about what you like, you're like, hey, the weather wasn't in our favor. I can pull up 3 videos right now from Twitter going like, the weather's perfect. I prayed for this. Like 3-4 times.
Well, then they started the game. And it's like, all right, this isn't helping like the way I thought it would. Then we get some more hands on balls, like create some turnovers, run the ball a little bit better.
Casey Thompson's your quarterback that was hurt.
Yeah.
You think he plays? You think the score's different?
Yeah, absolutely.
You think y'all win?
Oh, I don't know about win. I lean on my fundamentals, which is we have a shot.
Yeah.
Casey Thompson's a good player. He's just not playing because allegedly he has a hurt pinky, which is tough to hear.
That was tough to hear out loud for sure.
Yeah, but you got to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. We needed him. Pinky.
Outstanding, boys. Outstanding work. Is it time?
For tier talk, do we have a tier talk?
Wing sauces.
Yes, dude. Let's do
Hitters.
wing sauces. That's a good call, brother. That's why you're fucking back there, man.
Good shit, Jack. By the way, Jack, did you love that comment I put on your Instagram?
Well, what happened?
I had a photo with Chris Ryan, CB, our guy who hooked us up with tickets.
Yeah.
And he commented, and I just said, "Appreciate you, fam." And Taylor comments, "LOL, fam, .. Like he's just.
I just think it's funny, dude. I don't mean nothing by it. I do it from a place of like love. I think it's hilarious. If you take that much heat, hate it that much, I will stop doing it. But I love like seeing little things and just putting stuff under people's.
You love being a hater.
No,
As a hater.
I know Jack and I love Jack, so I say shit because I know that Jack and I have that relationship where I can say shit.
I've heard different.
Oh no!
I'm fucking with you.
All right, tier talk, wing sauces. So the boys in the back are not going to JP because his whole life revolves around glizzies and hot wings. That is basically my man's diet. So he will not. Will.
Sorry, you're right. I gotta calm down.
Shit.
You're right. That's on me.
One thing
That's
I did
fucking
learn
on
about
me.
Will this weekend, I knew he was a snacker, but I didn't know how much of a snacker Will was. Every time we came back to that damn hotel, he was rummaging through that snack drawer, bro. You were going crazy on that fucking thing.
I know.
Fucking Pop-Tart one night. I literally looked at Will on Friday night and I go, hey, you don't need that Pop-Tart. Ah, man, I'm going to get it. I'm going to just put it back. He's like, man, he looks at me after I hounded him for like 3 minutes. He goes, Taylor, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat this.
And then I wanted to make myself puke after.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I feel
Man,
way
especially
too full.
when you're drunk with a Pop-Tart. I feel
JP,
like,
yeah, JP.
oh, sorry. JP is the
JP
fucking
came,
hot sauce
well, I was
guy.
gonna say JP came in the next day and literally sitting next to my bed was a Pop-Tart wrapper, a White Claw, and Tylenol.
That's so awesome. JP, what you got for us, bub?
Dude, this is so hard.
Well, don't do that.
I know I just love all wing sauces so much. So I will start out tier 3.
No honorable mention if you love all those your sauces.
I know, just because I
All
feel
the
like
sauces.
I'm going to be disrespecting several sauces.
Mm.
But my tier 3 is going to have to go to, this is a ode to Rick Ross, lemon pepper. We got to have some lemon pepper wings from Wingstop, preferably. Shout out Rick Ross, send this to him. Tier 2, got to go with some sort of like sweet heat honey barbecue type sauce, but it can't be just strictly like the sweet teriyaki or whatever. There has to be a little bit of spice to it. And then tier 1, the OG original buffalo hot sauce with the wings. Gotta have it with the ranch. Gotta have all of them with the ranch. But there's something about the buffalo wings dipped in the perfect ranch that just hits. So that's my tier talk on wings.
Mitch?
Oh shit. Delicious.
Classic.
Reliable.
Tasty.
Basic.
Underwhelming.
You just love the back of the bus. Willie, baby, what you got?
It is hard. I honestly, I would have. We can talk about it afterwards. It's just very hard. My honorable mention. I'm going to give an honorable mention to all the ones I don't say. But I want to give an honorable mention to the wet garlic parmesan. I think there's a big difference in the way you do garlic parmesan wings. But them saucy boys, my mouth's watering right now. You gotta throw out an honorable mention there. And like the mango habaneros of the world. I want to get that one in there too.
All right.
Hawaiian,
All right. Well, all right.
style. My tier 3 is going to be, and this is a battle between 1 and 2. This is a battle between 1, 2, and 3. My tier 3 is going to be Asian Zing. The Asian Zings from Buffalo Wild Wings. Those are my favorite sauce anytime I went to a Buffalo Wild Wings. But the Asian style. I'm big into the Asian style. My tier 2, like the gold sauce wings. You talked about Zips.
Yes.
Yeah, the golden's there. McDougal's has a gold sauce that's very good. Those it's got like a little zingy tang to it. You know what I'm saying? But the gold sauce, my tier 1, my favorite is hot honey. Anything with that sweet heat, that hot honey. Those are my favorite wings. It's bringing a smile to my face because that's a good day. You get an order of about 18 of them boys, hoping nobody wants to share with you. Because then you'd have to order 6 more just to like kind of offset that. And dipped in ranch. Hot honeys. Those are my tier 1.
JP?
Relatable.
Different.
Solid.
Tangy.
Flavorful.
Wet.
That wop.
Okay. I would like to also give an honorable mention. And my honorable mention is going to Sweet Heat as well. I think there's a place for Sweet Heat. I think it's delicious. And it was very difficult for me not to put it in my tier group. I think you get that sweet and you add that heat, buddy, you're living the dream.
Heat.
I think it's incredible. Now, I like to also say all my wings all the sauces I'm going to say, I need my wings extra saucy. That's just how I like to roll. So when you're envisioning this in your head, know that all them boys are drenched. My tier 3 is spicy garlic. I think I love some heat, but for whatever reason, garlic to me is just a hitter. My mouth is salivating. I was the same way. Buffalo Wild Wings, you go there. They were one of my go-tos for sure every single time. If I was getting wings, it was spicy garlic and one other that will be mentioned next. So that is my tier 3. My tier 2 is garlic parmesan. I think it is so fucking good. And once again, Buffalo Wild Wings, but also Mr. Spots. Those fucking garlic parmesan wings there, they were so saucy
Those
and
are very
delicious.
good. Those
Very
were very
good.
good. Parmesan garlic parmesan wings.
Yeah. And then everyone who's on this bus knows what my tier 1 is. If I was on death row, this would be part of my order at Zips. It would be their golden wings, extra saucy, extra crispy. Those to me are the greatest wings of all time. The greatest sauce of all time on a wing is specifically Zips golden sauce on wings.
I think this has a hyphen. Bad breath.
This one also has a hyphen. Mouth watering.
Sauced.
Drippy.
Fire.
Bitch made. Just kidding. Hey, very good. Great. JB just fucking put the whole thing.
I saw him say some shit. Oh my
Oh. Yeah, JP, my criticism on yours, I would have enjoyed a more specific tier 2.
I know.
You kind of paintbrushed it. Because a mango habanero and then a sweet spicy, like, those are different levels of like heat too.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And I've personally never been a big original guy. I could get drugged for that, but like original buffalo, mild, medium, any of it. I try. It's just I'm just not a big fan unless it's like a homemade shit. You dump obviously Frank's hot sauce, but a shitload of butter. That like really offsets that like hot sauce taste.
Butter wings.
Yeah, there's a place
Butter wing head.
for traditional buffalo wings. I don't hate it at all. I just thought like what you hit were like the base of all the shit. You know what I'm saying? Of all the wings, you like hit like the basic ones, but they're all good.
Yeah, I mean, you hit 2 garlics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 2 garlics.
What's two garlics I hit? What are you talking about?
He said spicy garlic. I'm getting this and one other that I'm.
Oh
about to
yeah, I
mention. I'm
did.
thinking,
I do, but I
why
fucking
wouldn't that
love
be in tier
garlic.
2? That would be my question.
What's that?
You said no matter what, you're getting a spicy garlic and then obviously the golden wings.
No. I get the spicy garlic and the parm garlic. I like garlic, bro. I think that's so good.
So if you got golden Parmesan garlic and spicy garlic on a menu, which 2 you getting?
I'm just getting golden double up.
Well, you can only you get 2 flavors.
If I got two flavors, I do golden and then I would do Parmesan garlic.
All right.
But if you listen to my tiers, you would know I'd pick those 2 before I pick spicy garlic.
I know. You threw in there. I'm getting spicy garlic with one of these other ones every time.
Oh yeah, I said the next one I'm gonna say. Yeah, but I can totally understand why my list would be a little skewed with the garlic. It's just my palate.
You love a garlic.
Yeah, I
You're a
love garlic.
guy.
I'm a garlic guy.
The
It's
wings
tough.
be a good engagement one because everybody's got their.
It was on
everybody-
short notice, too.
I know. Yeah, that was good. That was real good.
Dude, I love hot honey. Love hot honey.
I can't believe Zips made your 2. That's crazy.
What do you mean? Made my 2? Like not 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're solid, but truly, if I see like a sweet heat or a hot honey, like that is no matter what, always getting chosen.
What's it called? What's the place we always go to? Strikeout. They got some sweet heat there. It's really good.
Mhm.
That's probably their best one on the menu.
They actually have a good lemon pepper.
Their lemon
I'm not a
pepper
big
is, I'm not a big lemon. Yes,
pepper guy.
but his lemon pepper are saucy. I'm just not a dry rub guy, and usually lemon pepper is dry rub.
Yeah. Garlic parmesan can be dry rub. You got to really
I
make sure.
know,
You got to really
dude.
make sure they're
They
wet.
like sprinkle, like
Yeah.
they like cook them with garlic, and
It
then
makes me so mad. Like
I
dry
know.
rub wings are so overrated.
that is going to be a hot take. But I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Didn't they let you make your own?
They let you combine sauces, yeah, but they already got
Who's
it on their
they?
menu too.
Because we did the sweet heat with the dipped in lemon pepper. We did one time.
Yeah.
Oh
That was
shit!
insane.
I hope that's carno.
You hope that's what?
That's carnivore.
I don't know if that sauce is. Hey, awesome episode with Michael Chandler. He came on. It's been 48 hours since the fight. He came on. I mean, he's got the black eyes. He's got the cut. Like, we dove into absolutely everything. We talked about the fighting IQ stuff. We talked about people talking about him being a dirty fighter during the fight. Just his perspective on it all, which is always A+. But I feel like we covered everything.
Yeah, in a short
as we
time.
could. Yeah.
There's really no fat on this podcast.
Yeah.
So before we get into that episode, though, we're going to read this ad. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
We're talking about the Game Time app. This is an exclusive ticketing partner with Barstool Sports. Created by fans for fans, Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. And they have the most guaranteed low prices. When we were in Ann Arbor this weekend, I'm pretty sure the Game Time app was brought up several times.
I was going to say.
People were looking for tickets.
Remember the dude that was coming on the flight was like, hey, we're going to Ann Arbor too, because everybody, we had Nebraska fans and Michigan fans on the flight. And the dude was like, we're like, what's Easter? And he was like, I'm just going to scalp tickets. And I was like, bro, Game Time app.
Yes.
He remembered me saying that. We get on the flight. He walks by me. He goes, hey, do you have a code?
Yeah.
A reference code for the Game Time app, which Taylor will now proceed to tell you what
I will proceed to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you real quick, dude. You just use code Bussin for $20 off your first purchase. That is a big deal. But if you haven't given Game Time app a shot, don't know what you're waiting for. You guys are going to love this app. They've got great deals on concerts and NFL tickets. We've had tons of Barstool fans using it, hitting us up on social about the great deals they are getting. This is getting tough. So easy to use, amazing deals. It's fast. It's the fastest growing ticket app in the U.S. You're going to love it. The app is actually easier to use than it is for me to read. Download Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login and redeem code Bussin for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time, last minute tickets, low prices guaranteed.
Enjoy the Michael Chandler episode.
Are we rolling? Because all right, so when we were at Ann Arbor for the inaugural Bussin Bowl, we did see that photo that Sports Center put out, like Michael Chandler's transformation. And then May, we were at your house that day.
That was the party.
That was the party. And legit, they caught you on an angle, no question. Maybe in an exhale too, but hey.
The most extreme style of like Mike didn't look bad at all back then. Let's not get into it.
Buddy, you literally were
that was
you were rocked up. You were rocked up then. People were like, don't even realize you were rocked up.
Pushing out my stomach. I was doing the dad impression.
Yeah.
You know?
Pushing that
we were
thing
throwing
out.
the football around too.
Yeah.
Well, we had just beat you guys in bags.
Yeah.
So I was
Who's
feeling
we?
Russell.
I don't think.
Me and Russell.
They came back, right? You guys came back.
Yeah, because we were up big, weren't we? We actually
you were up
skunked them.
3-0.
We
You were up
technically
3-0.
skunked them and let them keep playing.
Yeah, that's
You were
right.
up 3-0, and then we beat you.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. We were up, I think 13-0. Like it was a big.
You
and
guys
the boys got
rallied
cold.
big time.
The boys got cold.
But the after photo where you see like,
Go ahead.
I don't even know. You see like the ripples of your, like the amount of weight that you cut. You look sick.
You look like if you would use that photo of you to teach people anatomy. This is where this muscle is. This is where that muscle is. You know?
Yeah, because Bree, with all of her medical schooling and stuff, she's like, yeah, you look like a cadaver or whatever they. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always good to show that stuff on Fight Week too, because also obviously launching the fitness app and stuff, it's like, you know, hey, this is attainable. But obviously, I'm a professional athlete. I train, twice a day, freaking 12 weeks to look like that.
You got to be proud of that photo. Can we just.
If I
Yeah.
saw that photo and my face was on that, I'd be like, I don't own a t-shirt
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, the ab implants help too.
Yeah, there's
The
no
Liver
question.
King.
Are you Liver King in it?
Actually, I am gonna go carnivore for the next like 2 months probably.
Really?
That's how I stayed so lean. I came into this camp really lean actually because I was carnivore for like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
Last night I had ribeye and some
Write
butter.
that down. I'll be doing the same thing now.
Yeah.
Look like Mike Chandler.
Yeah.
Zero
You-
carbs.
You look good though.
I feel good.
Well, now we're on the mic. I still wanted to get that one in.
Yeah. I
good.
feel you.
I feel good. It's
You
part of it.
because when you were watching the fight, and I want to go like through everything, like your thought process, because I thought when you walked out, we were all saying the boy looks loose. Like you looked like there was not a piece of stress on you. But during that flight, my boy, you started leaking heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You started putting all of your blood on the back of that man's head.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that fight and then seeing you now, I would say you look fantastic.
Yeah, I was in a hyperbaric chamber this morning. It helped, and I do heal really quick.
Mhm.
You got the face mask. I saw
Comparatively.
the face mask photo where you got the, you're taking care of your face a little
So I
bit.
put the face mask on a couple times already. Iced a couple times. Tons of anti-inflammatories. A lot of turmeric,
Mhm.
curcumin. Just pump all that like crazy the next week or two, and
Do you like
a little
feel
bit
it
of
the next
soft
day?
tissue.
Do you like wake up and you're like, fuck?
oh, dude, yeah, I sneezed and like my core just from bearing down and kicking, bearing down and punching, bearing down and getting punched, neck, jaw, abs. I mean everything, head to toe, basically.
Everything hurt.
Everything.
Was there anything that didn't hurt?
No. Peed blood after, which is
Oh,
normal.
really? But you said it's normal?
Rhabdo. Yeah. Whenever you go through those hard, like, those 15-minute, I guess it was like 13 minutes or whatever it was. So, yeah, just get a little blood in your urine just to make you feel alive.
Have you peed blood before?
No.
It's
No?
a very painful experience.
I've never people.
Mine wasn't painful. Mine's just red.
I must have
One
something
time it was
wrong.
green. I don't remember. I don't know why that happened.
You said it was green?
It was green. I don't know.
Was it after an IV?
No, it was just after one of my fights.
Really?
I still need to ask. I've asked numerous doctors and medical professionals. They're like, I have no idea what that was. Me neither. But I'm still alive.
I can't believe you're here on the bus right now. I'm like
Dude,
looking at
I'm
you,
always
like,
on the bus,
you're
bro.
Literally 2 nights ago, we're in a fight.
Landed yesterday. Yeah.
How have you been feeling like since the fight? Like mentally, obviously not physically. Like you just talked about that, but like mentally, how have you been?
Dude, good. I mean, I not to downplay a loss because, man, we're winners. We want to win what you want to do. But dude, we've talked about this before. I'm in my second career now. My previous career was outside the UFC. A new career is inside the UFC. Inside of the UFC, I have fought 5 of the toughest dudes on the entire planet at 155 pounds. The who's who of the guys who compete in my weight class. You're going to win. You're going to lose. When you lose, if you lose in a way that I did with a fight like that against the number 2 guy in the world, I think there's a lot of people that think my stock continues to rise. And now we just kind of sit back and see, what happens. Once again, it's not always about the wins and losses. It's about how you make people feel. I think people felt something. People feel something. Not just, at MSG, but around the world. The highlights are everywhere. I think people appreciate my contribution to mixed martial arts. The sport of mixed martial arts, I think, is better with me in the UFC right now, and things are going really, really well. Spent the last 24 hours hanging out with my family. Took Hap to school this morning. Saw the teachers that I always see, and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" Yeah, I'm like, "I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Good to see ya." I'll pick them up today after this, walk over there because it's a nice day, and then see all them. And a lot of them have seen the fight, I'm sure. So just fun, man. Life is good. Feel great.
It's a weird thought process thinking about you going to see like your kids and the teachers, because that doesn't happen for everybody. Like
Yeah.
like at so many schools, teachers are saying, just no disrespect, people that are working like regular 9-to-5 jobs in and out, they look the same every single day.
Mhm.
And then these teachers know your kid, so they have some sort of personal bond to you. I'm sure they're sitting there paying the $55 or whatever it is for a pay-per-view, watching you go. And so and the way you just around people, the way you operate and the way you hold yourself, when you're around people root for you. Like the boys, when we were at the Brown Jug after the game, there was one individual who was a thrower, shot put, whatever he does for Michigan. And at first it was fun because he didn't know we're boys with you. And he's like, I got Poirier. And I'm like, sure you do. So we're tripping a little bit. And then he really started getting into it. And I was like, there might be a UFC fight in this Brown Jug right now. But that's how
I know it's guy.
your personality, how you operate, it definitely, you humanize the game to people. Like when people watch individuals fight or play football or hockey, it's all like, these are heroes. These are individuals that it's unattainable. And then when you're around, you're like, you make it more human because of how, like, you don't act like you're better than everybody. You're very calm and stay right here at all times. And it's a very impressive thing to do with all the success you've had in your life.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's funny too, because when you're in it, you don't really think about the success. I don't know. I don't really think about the success that much. I'm just kind of living. I'm kind of like doing my thing. Hey, what's my job? My job is to be father and husband until I go into training camp. Then it's be a fighter. and also come home on the weekends, be father, husband. But you know, it's cool. Like I know Taylin, because Taylin was there.
Mhm.
For everybody who doesn't know, Taylin, your wife was there. It was awesome. So I was glad that she got
She
to.
was looking electric. Will even pointed it out.
Hey, no,
Will
yeah.
goes, you see how hot your wife looks?
Yeah,
I go,
no,
"Thank you so much,
it
Will."
was cool. They had, so our stylist, our mutual,
so much. He hates when I do that.
our
Like, bro, look at my wife. I was like, come on,
Buddy, Taylor sent a picture of
They look electric.
Taylor and Bree, and I was
Yeah.
like, look at
And
these two.
yes, I was like, they were all decked out because Krista was there. She got her makeup done. So they had Megan Fox's makeup artist come to the hotel. They all got all dolled up. She rode over to the venue with us, so she was taken care of.
And I heard that's the first time that Bree was escorted with you.
First time.
And Taylor's like, oh, I'm kind of just like here being escorted. And it's just experiences for the first time.
It was. And it's when it's not because we don't want Bree to be there escorted with me. She gets, because you go to the fights and I'm always later on the card. So you watch those first 10 fights before me. You see dudes get knocked out. You see arms get broken. You see guys who are supposed to win lose, and this anxiety level just starts rising and rising. So she likes to get there. If I'm fighting at 11, she likes to get there at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But this time it didn't really work out that way. It's New York. It's hard to get around. I had security with me at all times, a guy named Drew, nonstop. I couldn't leave my room without him escorting me somewhere. So I was like, hey, let's have you with me. Why don't you guys come over to the venue with me? They came over to the venue like 3 hours early, which is not normal for her. So it was good. It was very, very cool for her we walked in the arena hand in hand. She was looking fine. And the fight happened. It was good. It's fun.
Yeah, I think it's wild because you've obviously been on the pod, what, 4 or 5 times now? You literally come on pretty much after the fight's over, and it's very much like appreciated. You willing to come on like this fast after a fight, especially when this is going to drop tomorrow. But I'm just curious, like each time you came after a win, you came after a loss, you've said all this stuff. Like the way you grab a hold of perspective is like, it's very admirable. Like I think you're like one of the best dudes out there. I love hearing your perspective on everything. I think you rub off on us. Like I just always appreciate it, but I want to dive inside your head. Like after that fight's over, you can spin it any way, the entertaining, I lose this way, that way. But are you just like, fuck, man, I'm so goddamn, it gets so fucking close because there's parts where you're like, you get gassed in the first round because you had an opportunity. You're like putting him down. This motherfucker's just taking shots. We're literally like, and I know Jack was like rolling the phone on us in the back. We're starting to jump like it's about to be over. And for whatever reason, that motherfucker just wouldn't go. And you're obviously wearing yourself out more because you're seeing the opportunity. You're trying to finish him. You're trying to wrestle him even more down so you can get on top of him and stuff. And when it just doesn't happen, are you just like, before you grab the perspective, are you just like, fuck, man? Like, when is it gonna just flip? When's the ball gonna just bounce my way for a second in one of these big situations where you're like right fucking there?
Because what you refer, like, it was also similar with Oliveira, right? Like that first round where I'm at Will's house and we're like, oh, this is over. And just the way the game goes, sometimes stuff flips on a dime. Like not only after, but like after that first round, you had him. Yeah. He was in that corner. You literally, it was like he's won the first round. We knew that. We know he's won the first round.
Well, he bounced back in the first round.
He bounced back at the end. Yeah.
He bounced back. You can tell both these dudes are gassed. You're just like, man, Mike just comes out early in the second round because you could tell dudes are gassed. And again, like I was at Boost this morning explaining to people, I'm like, dude, you're trying to like be on the offense wrestling this guy because you had the opportunity, and it takes so much out of you. I apologize. I kind of stole your thought.
No. We went back and forth on that. Yeah. Basically, it was like not only your thought process after when the experience is concluded, but just in the middle of the fight, like in that first round, how it went. Where was your mindset at? What were you thinking? And then also at the end, what Will was trying to say is where, like, when you're like, damn, is like, when is this going to bounce my way? Because there's 2 fights now off the top of my head where we're talking about a whole totally different situation. Where Oliveira, you knock him out. That's done. You could have took Poirier out. Done. And it just, this is not like a slight, like, oh man, you couldn't finish. I'm just saying, like, does that weigh on you? Yeah,
it does, because, well, and that's the other thing too. Like when you talk about, you're fighting the best guys in the world, and the best guys in the world aren't just technical. They aren't just good fighters. They're also extremely tough. not just tough, and they're also just they've been, whether it's luck, whether it's chance, whether it's just genetically, they're able to withstand the beating that I put on them. And same thing with me as well. I mean, like Poirier said after the fight, it surprised him how durable I was. We're just, when you're in there and you're in the spirit of competition and something wells something up inside of you, you are outside of yourself. I am not Michael Chandler sitting there. I am a being that just has an indomitable spirit, and you don't go down. Like you said, in that first round, Poirier was hurt. I went for the finish. It obviously, had to throw everything at him. But I do remember after the fight too, because they bring you back, and everybody's just, don't hang your head. We hear that all the time, whether it's a hard fought game, whether it's a hard fought fight. But it's sad. I cried like a little baby, which is also just awesome too. It's awesome moments that you get to enjoy. Is it painful? Of course, but it's also just like when the high of the victory or defeat, or the high of the competition comes down and it starts to hit, and it's over, and you miss it. You miss it. You miss that opportunity that you had, whether you missed the opportunity to win, but also you also just miss it. You yearn for that competition that we just had. And the high comes down, the adrenaline comes down, and the human emotion starts getting into it. And it was sad, but it was also beautiful. Like, it makes you feel alive. I said that in the post-fight press conference, and everybody's like, no, you don't need to do the press conference. You don't need to, you're fine. You need to go to the hospital. I was like, no, I'm good. I told him I don't want to go to the hospital. Don't need to go to the hospital. I get on the microphone, win or lose. And because I think that's what people want to see too. I mean, somewhere between the craziness of the competition and the guy that I am inside the cage, and also just the person I am outside of the competition, is the kind of the real me, where I've talked about living on both ends of the spectrum of crazy, just the crazy juxtaposition between the two. And man, this is my story that I'm writing, and a masterpiece that I'm painting for my sons to be able to see someday, and they're going to say, that's who my dad was. And I won't have to tell them, because they're going to see it all. They're going to hear it all. They're going to be able to watch it all.
Yeah.
It's going to propel them and push them towards what they want to be.
Yeah, I think
But it sucks, man. It sucks losing, but
We interrupt this episode to bring you Whistle Pig whiskey. There are a lot of whiskeys out there that are delicious, but some burn more than others. Some taste more different than others. Whistle Pig whiskey and rye, honestly, is phenomenal. But in our opinion, the greatest whiskey that has ever been created is in Will Compton's hands, and that is our new Bussin' with the Boys Whistle Pig whiskey, dude. This thing, and I've been told and I've tasted, hints of caramel, talking about toasted almonds, roasted almonds.
Like a Victory Monday latte.
It tastes-
You're going to feel a little heat up front, and you're going to be a little nervous, like, what's this going to be like going down my throat? And it's going to nestle down your throat nice and smooth. I am not shitting you. I know I'm trying to sell this right now, but I'm not shitting you. It's very smooth whiskey, and it'll sit warmly on the top of your stomach when you get done. These are out. Any carrier, any retail store that carries Whistle Pig. Somebody just hit us at Michigan over the weekend. Hey, we just bought 3 bottles of your whiskey. It was at Costco. So check out any retail stores that carries liquor. If they carry Whistle Pig, they're going to have our bourbon, because there's how many states that you can't order
I think
directly
there's
online?
like 16 states. Unfortunately, Tennessee happens to be one of them.
Yeah.
Tennessee's one. I know Michigan's one.
Yeah,
and
Missouri's
obviously,
another one. There's a
Missouri-
lot of big states that our audience is in. They're like, holy shit, why can't we order your bourbon online? There's a legal thing going on. There's a legal thing to where they can't ship it to that state. However, any retail store in your state, all retail stores in your state that carries Whistle Pig carries this bourbon. So go to any retail store, any local retailer that carries Whistle Pig. Call ahead. Hey, do you guys carry Whistle Pig? The answer is yes. Take your family, take yourself, go right over to the retail store, and our bourbon will be there. Click the link in our YouTube description to buy it now, to see if you can buy it online. But if not, go to a retail store right before the weekend hits and buy our bourbon. Back to the episode.
But did I lose? I mean, I saw what Talon said to Bree too. It's like, yeah, I lost, but I'm winning. What you said, like I'm winning. I didn't win, but I'm winning. I'm winning at the game of life. I'm winning at being the guy in the arena that everybody can point fingers at, laugh at, throw venom at, that can make fun of and make memes about. But here I am, 10 toes down, pumped up about my life. Love my family, love my calling, love what I get to do with 2 black eyes, possibly a broken nose. We'll see what happens with all these scans and x-rays, who knows. But I live to fight another day, either physically or metaphorically.
Yeah. I think that's the cool part though. Again, like going and doing the presser after like doing this, within 48 hours after, like you allow people to look behind the curtain on it. And it is like a roller coaster ride. Like, it's not like you're taking all this time to like find the right thing to say or the right way to do it or this situation.
There is no right time and there is
Yeah.
no right thing.
And I think it's cool because that's what every human kind of goes through anyway. Like they're always battling, and for you to like show yourself, no matter whether it's sad, it's the crazy, it's the human guy. I was a being here. I'm crying at this point. I'm bleeding, death, taxes, and Mike Chandler bleeding in a fight
Yeah.
is forever.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I think it's really cool, man. Again, like I appreciate you sharing all this stuff because I'm just always super interested. Like at the end of the first round when he catches you, are you just like motherfucker? Or in that, like I'm thinking sometimes, like say you're on a long drive defensively.
Yeah.
You're like in the beginning, you're juiced, you're going, and you say you're in the middle of a game.
Right.
Sometimes when you get backed up in the red zone, you're like, fuck, man, like hopefully somebody else makes a play or hopefully they fuck up to where you're not like, we're not always so programmed to be the most positive person in that time frame. Like the human side kicks in, fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Yep.
Like, was there a moment it probably wouldn't happen, but is there a moment after the first round you're catching your breath, you're like, motherfucker, like I need to come out here because this is kind of what I have left in the tank, and because I'm starting to bottom out condition wise because you threw so much at him in that first round. Like I'm curious what goes on in those like when you're wrestling, you're up somebody after 2 periods and the third period's coming, and you kind of feel them coming and you're like, I need to either make something shake or try to, like, to me, Izzy in that last round, you could tell he's kind of leaning like let's get through this round versus like
He was winning, yeah.
because he's winning.
Yeah.
Like, does the strategy in those moments change because you're just feeling your lungs, you're feeling the blood? Like he kind of shook me at the end.
Yeah, no, and I think that's been the biggest criticism of me and how I fight. And people will call it fight IQ, but I think it's my spirit. It's who I am. Like I've never once thought, okay, let me just get through this round. I've never once thought, hey, let's play it safe. I've never once thought, let's hit the brakes a little bit. And would I probably win more fights? Could I have been a world champion if I've done that? Probably. But it's just not who I am, So after the first round, second round, I wanted to get a takedown, got the takedown in the second round, beat him up a little bit on the ground. At that point, my nose is gushing. I mean, that's the other thing too. I mean, fatigue makes cowards of you all. And you're talking about fatigue when you can breathe through your nose and your mouth. I didn't breathe through my nose the last, 11 minutes of that fight, my mouth wide open.
With the mouth wide open too.
Yeah,
that button gets a little bigger.
That
You
button
get
gets a
pushed.
lot bigger,
Yeah,
you
that
know?
button gets a little bit bigger.
And Poirier is he's a very precise striker. He's very good at just pinpoint accuracy, punches and bunches when he gets guys hurt. He wasn't able to finish me on the feet, obviously, but it's dude, it was just Madison Square Garden is beautiful and it's amazing, but it sucks so bad. I still didn't hear my coaches. Can't hear a thing. Your lungs are shaking from just the atmosphere in there. It's absolutely. I don't want to fight there ever again. I'm now 0-3 there. So yeah. So it's just
That fourth one though.
unless it's Conor next year, we'll see.
Yeah.
But it's the craziest place to fight ever, and it's you can't explain it. I'm sure there's an arena or a stadium y'all have played in where you're just like, this is different. But Madison Square Garden is that.
It's so hard to compare the two things because the most obvious difference is it's team sport versus individual.
Mm-hmm.
And there I can't get cues from the sideline like do this differently. Like there's a break, there's an intermission between each play.
Yeah, 30 seconds between each play.
Yeah, but there are stadiums obviously like Kansas City, Seattle. Those you just know it's gonna be a little bit different. Like in 2019 against the Ravens, it's loud.
Mm-hmm.
But you prepare for that because you know what you're going into. So there's a different cadence, there's a different way we know what we're about to do. There's things Tannehill or Mariota would do and say to make sure you know what you're supposed to do in that play. So very difficult to compare those things, but So are you Vegas or bust guy now?
Well, first of all, I have to fight in Vegas. Like I still haven't fought in Vegas.
Yeah.
Fighting in the UFC now. My 5th fight in the UFC. Haven't fought there yet. So that would be, I have to fight in Vegas before I hang up the gloves. So yeah, my next fight needs to be in Vegas, but
What do
no
you
more
We'll make it
MSG.
happen. We'll call some people.
Yeah,
JP.
call some people.
Yeah,
Call
get you guys.
JP, call him.
What do you
All
think
those
about what do you think about some of the people that feel like you were fighting dirty in that fight? Like people talked about you hitting them in the back of the head. You're obviously like when you're gushing blood, you're getting someone on his face. I think is fucking awesome. The fish hook to try and
Well, that's
submit him
not-
out. Like, can you speak on that? Like,
Well, the blood thing, first of all, that's not dirty or illegal. And second of all, he had me in a triangle. My head was over his face and my nose was gushing blood. Was I trying to clear my nose and trying to breathe and trying to survive? Yeah. So if blood was going to get on his face, sorry, my bad. But no, yes,
being
I
precise,
did.
I thought it was
First,
fucking.
well, it was, well, no, first of
Yeah, it
all,
literally looked like he was you were tactical. You were making a painting.
Yeah,
You were making a Jackson Pollock painting on his
brother.
face.
well, it's like, well, hey,
bleed all over you.
well, it's kind of like, well, hey, if you're content to lay there and you're content to try to get this submission, which I knew it wasn't going to get it, but he was just going to lay there and he was buying his time. You're gonna, get rained on. And possibly, the snot rockets were going to come out because it was just gushing and it was all coagulating inside there. And also, I'm trying to breathe at the same time. You can hear me still sniffling.
when you're fighting and you're both trying to kill each other.
Exactly. So it's a little bit, all three of those things that you just brought up are a little bit unfair for the armchair quarterback to say. The back of the head thing, did one or two of those punches catch his head? Yes, after he turned his head, but I was catching his ear with every single one of them. That's why the referee was there watching the entire time.
Yeah, you guys had a full-on monologue.
He said, "Watch the back of the head." As soon as he did, I said, "I caught his ear." And then after that, was there any more punches to the back of the head? No, all of them were clean except for maybe one or two after he turned his head, and that's actually a part of mixed martial arts that we are told if a guy turns his head, in order for you to punch him in the back of the head, you get those one or two shots. You get those one or two shots because you didn't do it intentionally. The actual head moved. It was ear. He turned, back of the head. Okay, now there's your warning. Don't hit him in the back of the head anymore. So completely fine. The fish hook thing, it was not a fish hook. A fish hook is on the lip and on the skin. It was actually on his mouthpiece, which I actually thought was his chin. I reached down and grabbed here because I was going to pull the chin up. Connor saw I was training a ton that week. Reach down, grab the chin, lift the head, and go for it. I thought I had his chin, but it turns out I was in his mouth, and I didn't really realize it until he bit down on my hand, and I was like, "Oh shoot, okay." And at that point, my elbow was stuck on the, So I mean, you're also
you're in the fucking.
You're in the middle of it too. Bullets are flying.
You're both trying to fight while also trying to like. All right, I have. You're all trying to like figure out your gas tank too.
Well,
When he's turning his head or when he knows he's trying to get you in a submission, and he knows he's probably not going to get it. You're probably just trying to sit there like, I just need to catch my breath for a little bit.
Right.
Also, there's the times too where it's like people can watch it and they can watch stuff in slow mo, and they can say, "Oh my god, I can't believe he did that."
Yeah.
And you're like, when you're on the line or you're doing a tackle, you don't know where your hands, where your feet are, what you're grabbing, you're in the moment, you're in the motion, you're in literal hand-to-hand combat.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what your hands are doing, what your feet are doing. If you blatantly headbutt somebody, okay. If you blatantly punch someone in the nuts, yeah. But these things where you're grabbing and there's times where you're grabbing a guy's glove and you don't realize you're grabbing a glove. You think you're grabbing a wrist because you're not thinking clearly. So
I'm sure the refs understand that and they're somewhat knowledgeable of the situation.
That's why they're there. Their eyes are on it, and there's warnings. If you're grabbing a glove or you're grabbing a mouthpiece, you're grabbing whatever, then the ref steps in and says, "Okay, shoot. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Stop." So I mean, I'm not that worried about it because people who know me know I'm not a dirty fighter. Like we're in the heat of combat as well, so it's like whatever.
When so you're talking about a lot about armchair quarterbacks, but after the fight, it did seem like there was some sort of tension. I feel like Poirier got in your face and then all of a sudden said something super nice to you and you kind of just gave him the dap up and walked away. Like,
yeah, that was after.
After the fight?
Well,
what was that whole experience like? Because you're like, I don't know. Did you say this publicly? Because Taylor told me you were like, "Hey, I was going to shake his hand no matter what." Did you say that publicly?
I said that publicly, and then I went over to do it, and then I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna, be in his cereal right now. I feel like he could have been a better sport about the guy that he just beat coming over to him to congratulate him, and he wasn't. So I walked away. said some choice words, walked away. He kind of chased me down to like, because he knew he was being a D-bag.
Yeah.
And then he kind of tried to squash it. Then I kind of trolled him a little bit. I chirped at him a little bit.
Good.
And then
You need a beak. That's
yeah,
necessary.
Yeah,
that's a necessary.
he loves when I chirp.
Win or lose, the chirps are necessary. Yes.
Because that's part of it too, man. I don't know. I love winning. I don't like losing, but I also don't really care that much, man. I always say it too. My God still loves me. My family still loves me, and I still love me. And the boys still love me, whether I win or lose. So I'm secure in myself, and I think a lot of people can't really accept that, or they think that it's not genuine. So all I can be is authentically myself. And
Yeah. Have you? How did it take you to get to that point? Were you always like that? Where like, listen, I love myself, my family loves me, God loves me, or
Ooh.
was it I hate losing more than I love winning at some points?
No, I mean, I was insecure for a very, very long time. Had a very lowly view of myself, and we've talked about my self-image and my self-image problems for years and years and years. Never thought that I would ever even come close to being here under the bright lights and cameras and Madison Square Garden and fighting for titles and stuff. I think it's just been, we underestimate how long it takes to get to that point, and we're all just continually evolving beings who are being chipped away and molded by all of our experiences. I think when I was younger, I just wanted to win. And now I'm just like, I love winning, and I train. I think I train harder and I prepare harder than everyone else. I deserve to win. But when the bright lights come on and then it's time that cage door closes, it's not even really up to me at that point in time. The outcome is going to take care of itself. So then I also just throw it kind of out there and let it fly. And I could be probably a little bit more strategic, as we talked about, like with an Israel Adesanya or one of these guys.
Don't be that strategic.
Yeah.
It'll get boring quick.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I probably could have won some more fights, but I am who I am, and I've enjoyed my run thus far, and I'm gonna keep on doing what I do.
Why not? Why
Yeah,
not
that's
try?
what I was just gonna
why
ask.
not try and be a little? If you watch the tape over and over, and you say, "Could I be closer to a title or be a champion?" Probably. Why not look at that, hear what you're saying, watch the tape, and be like, "Here's how I can be a better fighter in the octagon," versus just going out there and letting all the adrenaline take over, letting yourself take over, and trusting more of like the preparation that's going to go into the fight versus like allowing just this crazy ass Iron Mike step in there and let it all,
Because
the chips will fall where
it
they
is
may.
electric. Like
Yeah.
when you fight, there's a reason why you said it in your last fight. Like what everybody wants to see,
Mhm.
and it's amazing. But there has to
Yeah. Why not be smarter?
why not be smarter about it?
Because I don't think it's as easy as a lot of people think it is as well. I think, I
want to ask why you say, yeah, probably, and throw out the anybody else thinking it versus you just sitting there and self-scouting yourself. Why not approach it in a way that would benefit you more for like going for a title, being better with the gas tank,
Well, I think in those moments and in those exchanges where we say, okay, well, I hurt Poirier in the first round, hurt Charles in the first round. Had I not been fighting that way, that explosive, that fast, that in your face, that foot on the gas pedal, those opportunities would never have existed. And you're going to see two guys. I'd be on my back foot more, which takes me more of a defensive stance instead of an offensive stance. And most of the time, me being offensive has worked out more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you also have to play to your strengths and your gifts as well. I think I'm faster and stronger and more athletic and have a lot of speed, and just the tenacity to be able to, in those moments, one guy starts to break and one guy starts to kind of conquer, if you will, and I have to be able to get to that place with all the gifts that I have, But I'm more saying taking a round off like some guys do. I would rather, I guess not rather, but it's not in my nature.
Because you're probably
it's
I'm
all
just trying to think, like, I'm trying to think of your fight. Like, there's not a lot of things other than like when you're getting gassed, your hands are down, and you're just thinking like you can tell the man's tired at the end of this first round.
Right.
And then in the second round, you're probably like in your offensive nature, hey, I got this much in the tank right now. I gotta take him down. Awesome takedown. I guess I'm just trying to think like, how do you look at it and you're like, okay, if I'm running out of gas in these moments, do I look at some of the training or some of the conditioning that's happening because I'm such an offensive, explosive type condition level fighter versus a more of a steadier pace throughout the fight? Do you look at how do I get a little bit more condition? If I'm going to be this way and play to my strengths, do you end up going back and kind of like, maybe I need to change my training up a little bit?
and I think I have changed my training up a little bit. So regrettably, I think as a guy who, as the actual fighter who is in there competing, I wouldn't say that my competition course of action is exactly like my training either. But it also, I think mixed martial arts is different than a lot of sports too, where the competition is so much different than the training that it can't even be portrayed to the
It's hard
average
to mimic.
viewer. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's almost impossible. It's impossible in any arena, let alone Madison Square Garden, So that's the other aspect of it too. That's a little bit, it's even bewildering to me. I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I didn't exactly train like that. I'm not upset about it. I'm not regretting anything. And it's almost just impossible to do it, and because I've toned down my training a lot. If you guys saw the way that I train compared to the way that I fight, it would blow your mind. I choose my 3-4 training partners that I spar with. They're safe guys. I'm not going crazy. I'm not in fight or flight mode. It's light. It's technical. I'm not taking damage. And then I go out in the fights and it's completely different.
Straight fight or flight.
Straight
for
fight
the
or
entire,
Straight-
yeah,
yeah,
entirety of the fight.
It's literally just fight.
It's gotta
Yeah,
be like,
there's no flight.
running to the or just
Right.
going to the octagon. The gate closes. Like
Right.
Yeah.
it's gotta be so hard to like
Yeah. And
crack the code on figuring out those type of
exactly. And maybe I'm a pretty interesting science experiment that we'll look at someday, and people will break it down and say, why does that happen? But also, you only get, which is crazy, I think the fear of me underachieving, because I look at this last loss, I look at my previous losses, wins. I don't think I've ever underachieved. I think I let it all out there, put it all out there. I fought well. Did I make some mistakes? Of course, we all do in every game, every fight, everything. But I would never say I've underachieved. I'm not upset with my performance ever. So I think the fear of that guy who sits in the chair in the medical tent after a loss and say, man, I did not put it all out there tonight. I did not go for it. I did not fight like a,
the guy who
like-
kept falling to the ground and trying to do the
The little
Yeah.
spin flips.
they had to
yeah,
just stop the
exactly.
fight.
Like
Fuck
I would be
We're gonna stop this.
I would be
Yeah.
so embarrassed of that. I would be so let down of that, and I would regret that so much more than the me who went out there and
Yeah.
went out on my shield.
Yeah, but you talked about like the evolution of yourself. You dealt with a bunch of insecurities in the beginning of all this madness when it was starting, the self-doubt, the way you looked at yourself in the mirror. And obviously that has evolved and become more and more and more. I think what Will's trying to get at is those opportunities you had with Charles and Poirier, like you can still have those opportunities, but maybe in the second round. Because gas tanks are all the same in the beginning. Everyone's full.
Mhm.
You come out the way you do. And listen, I'm a guy that knows nothing. I watch you. I've never wrestled in my life. I'm a fan. I like to sit there and cheer on the boy. So everything's a grain of salt with what I'm saying. But instead of, wearing him down, seeing where he's at, you can still be offensive. And then maybe that second round, you have
Mhm.
that. He doesn't have the same gas tank he did in the first round. Maybe you get that finish.
Sure.
Is that like,
Possibly.
does that ever like come over your head? Is because I think what we're getting hung up on a little bit is taking a foot off the gas or like taking a round off. And I would never expect you to do that. I don't think you would ever make that compromise to yourself. My thought is like, why not just play some chess a little bit that first round? You can still go hard in the paint. knowing, okay, I'm going to tire him down in this X, Y, and Z. And then in the second round, we finish business the way it needs to be finished.
Yeah, but I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
yeah,
That makes sense?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
all right. Because
I'm personally like when we talk about the science project, I feel like in fighting, it is hard to kind of put your finger on. But I feel like if I'm putting myself in, like if I were happening to be a fighter who's had your matches, I would just be frustrated on figuring out how can I put my finger on how I can
Yeah.
either finish these fights or not. Like I do get, because you look at the last fight and it's hard to think, how would you do something different? You saw an opportunity to put him out and you tried your fucking damnedest to put him out. He catches you, you're tired, then the second round happens. It is what it is. So it's just I just love being in your head. I want to ask as many questions as possible.
I think
You've
also
obviously been on the pod a lot. We've talked about the wins, the losses, and everything else. I want to know the selfish fucking Michael Chandler that's thinking about this thing and being like, fuck, if I do X, Y, and Z. I'm just curious.
yeah, the hard part about mixed martial arts too, or fighting, just a fight in general, is it's like you can find yourself either 100% offensive, but if you're not 100% offensive, then you become 100% defensive, or somewhere in the middle. And it's hard for me when I'm in the middle or I'm in the defensive posture, I start to overthink things as well. And I don't want to overthink things when I'm in there. I'd rather just get in there and get into the craziness of it. Because I also know who I'm also fighting, another human being who has a breaking point, who has self-doubt, who has the second guessing of themselves whenever they see me. They feel my presence, they feel my pressure, they feel, so it's the mind game, the physicality, the technique, the fear, the one punch KO, the one punch knock, the one punch kick, the one submission you can catch somebody in, the wrestling, the dog fights. It's a beautiful sport. But if I'm not 100% offensive and 100% putting foot on the gas, it's tough to, you start to overthink things. So I think maybe that's a crutch of mine. Maybe that's something I could have worked on, but I'm also a little bit too far gone to think about that now. So.
Yeah, I respect the shit out of it. I'm
Not
just
too far gone, but we could all grow, we could all get better, but it's
super fucking curious how it all goes down, because even listening to you talk right there, it's just the methodology. Like, I'm not gonna allow myself to think I'm gonna get the fight started. Like, I'm gonna deal with all these things and I'm gonna get this thing going. I think you do a great job. Obviously, everybody in your corner, we just sit there and everybody wants to see you fucking win, just like you do.
Yeah.
And so when you sit and look at it, you're like, fuck. He got gas there, not because of a conditioning level, but because it's hard as fuck to finish. If he didn't go down and you're having to wrestle him and he's kind of just stabilizing and trying to catch his own breath and you're just trying to wrestle him to the ground, be offensive, and it just doesn't happen. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be like, how do you even fucking get to a level of training to get there? Because you kind of can't, because you're in such a fight or flight survival. I'm trying to end him. I'm trying to do whatever possible. And how can you actually mimic that without just being like, fuck? You just need one of those shots to land and he just goes down.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. I mean, and that's where we talk about, I forget what you were saying earlier, but there's a piece of luck in there as well. I mean, there's a piece of luck and chance where, I mean, if one of those punches lands a little bit higher, a little bit lower, a little bit harder, a little bit different angle. I mean, I remember in the fight, I was like, I'm about to finish this dude. Landed 4 or 5 shots on him. He doesn't go down. I'm sure he thought the same thing about me. 4 or 5 shots, lands on me, nose is bleeding like crazy. You don't go down. There's been times where you hit a guy and he goes down and you're like, that was easy. I felt like I didn't even hit him. And you feel like sometimes you're hitting him with a baseball bat and a 2x4 in there. It's a cinder block as hard as you can and they don't go down. So and then all of a sudden, then you're left with, okay, shoot, we got 2 more rounds left. We got 4 more rounds left. We got whatever. And it's
that'd be the scary part for me.
Yeah,
me personally, me getting tired, I'm just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that's the scary. I don't remember being too tired in this fight. I remember being very tired in a lot of fights. I don't remember being too tired in this fight as far as actually mentally acknowledging it. I was just caught up in the moment and enjoying it too, which is a little bit sick probably, but
we interrupt this episode to bring you guys Ridge Wallet. No free shout outs to Ridge Wallet, guys. Christmas is coming up. Black Friday's coming up. There's a lot of good deals going on. We got you a really good deal that's going to be up to 40% off with the boys at Ridge Wallet. Get your boy something that you know he needs but won't buy for himself. The Ridge Wallet is an ultra slim minimalist wallet. It holds up to 12 cards plus cash. There's over 30 different colors and styles, including the carbon fiber and burnt titanium. There's also an RFID blocking technology that protects you from digital pickpocketers. They also have new key cases to help organize your keys. It secures anywhere from 2 to 6 keys. It organizes your keys in a compact silhouette and fold out for easy access. Get the best offer at ridge.com/bussin and save up to 40% off through December 22nd. Get your boy something you know he needs but will not buy for himself. That's ridge.com/bussin, up to 40% off through December 22nd. Back to the episode.
So in the first round, after the first round, you get back to your.
I haven't seen the fight, by the way, and I don't really remember the fight.
You were literally
So,
you had the best seat.
So
Yeah, you were there. Yeah.
That's what's crazy is I like believe you. That's like I'm sure it's hard to even remember all this.
oh yeah, you don't remember. You don't really remember a thing. You don't really remember a thing.
Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, I mean, both of you guys are very fucking tired at the end of that first
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
it
feel
was
yeah.
a war. We're kind of sitting there like,
Buddy,
Here
there
we
was
fucking
yeah,
go.
we
We
had the
gotta-
hands going, we're moving around, we're like grabbing each other. It was a bit of a deal. Okay, so the first round you finally get back to your coaches. You can't hear a thing in Madison Square Garden. What are they telling you?
I remember Henry saying because if I remember correctly, the end of the first round was not great in my.
that's where he
On my
bounced back
side.
and
Yes,
maybe
but
Bounced
yeah,
back
probably
and-
snaked
and
around.
hit me.
You think
That's
he
where
sneaked around there?
Like maybe I don't know what like the point said. Like Mike was landing massive blows.
Yeah.
Like I think you touched him more than he touched you. Just the way that first round ended, it's like okay, thankfully that round ended.
Mhm.
Right.
So it might have not been enough at the end
Yeah,
of the first
'cause
round.
I
But it was
remember-
kind of like thank God they.
I
get
remember
to
looking at
the
that
corner.
clock seeing 5-4. I'm like,
Yeah.
please God, just get to 0.
Yeah.
Because there was you had him and then he caught something.
Mhm.
So yes, absolutely. So you get back to and Henry, is it?
Yeah.
What's Henry talking about?
Henry, because I think the way that first round ended, that's when he was like, okay, well, don't get into a brawl in his mind. So he was saying, go out there, get a takedown. Should have worked the body more. The distance was going well. He threw a lot of straight left hands that weren't landing. I was getting out of the way of those. I wanted to step off, land a right hand. We worked a lot of that. That didn't really happen too much. I think I might have landed one. But yeah, they were more just like, hey, let's try to secure this next round. Go out there, get a takedown. We got a takedown second round. But
It was a nice takedown.
I don't remember. I need to go back and watch it.
It was a good take.
We might try to do like a breakdown of the fight.
Yeah.
Here soon.
Possibly 10-8 to you.
Yeah, I mean, I lost on the scorecards.
Which one?
All of
On
them?
the scorecards, yeah.
Second round?
I lost the first round on the scorecards, which was good because that was one of my. I did have a moment of regret there when I was like, because I think a couple people said that I had won the first and second round because I won the second round. I thought,
According to the scorecard too?
yes, two of the judges, I think. So in my mind, I'm like, shoot, if I was up 2-0, I should have been a little bit less gung ho in that third round and played it a little bit more safe. But to me, it was 1-1, and I'm not going to leave it in the hands of judges. I needed to go out there and try to put it on them, and then
There's absolutely no way in hell unless you guys no one gave out that fight was going to go all 3 rounds.
yeah,
You guys were just getting after it,
Getting after it.
yeah.
which always happens with your fights. Like you're one of the most electric fucking fighters out there. It's just like, God damn, I need to.
Mm.
You want you want the ball to bounce your way.
Yeah, that'd be good. But also, dude, I could care less, dude.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Really
I'm thinking my own.
I don't even know my record.
I'm thinking my own selfishness of like we're at fucking. God damn.
I know.
The boys,
Hey,
we were so
Love
hurt.
you, brother.
We were
Love you,
so
brother.
hurt.
Fuck them all.
Yeah. Is that what you said? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
But that's the truth. It is the truth. When you get to that point too, where you're just like, dude, and even like just that, like F them all, and even you, where it's just like, dude, you're winning. Like we're winning as long as you're doing what you can with what you have, with your best foot forward, constantly, you're winning, and it's gonna work out. Whether you win or lose, whether you are successful or you're a failure,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like I'm not at the point now where I'm even worried about it. I'm living a dream. This right here is the happiest I've ever been in victory or defeat, no matter what. Why? Because I walked on. I left Bellator. I left the relative security of being the face of a promotion, getting paid great money, coming over to the UFC, making so much more money for my family than I ever thought I would. So much more platforms, so much more everything. And it's just absolutely a dream that I'm living. So maybe that, the big time Michael Chandler supporters out there are like, God dang, dude, but we just want you to win, dude. I told all my boys you were going to win. I told all my friends you were going to win. You're going to be a champion. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But, we're fighting we're fighting the best guys on the planet at my weight class, the best guys. So if I'm not that, I'm not that. And I can sleep fine at night knowing that.
And I think you empty the tank no matter what. Like
You can't have regrets if you put full effort out.
Yeah,
100%.
If you give everything you have, there's no regrets needed.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm kind of trying to get at too, that I can't really put into perspective. And people are probably just like, dude, you sound like a loser right now. You're completely okay with losing. You're completely okay with falling short. And I'm not, but I also am, because I think there's so much freedom in that. And I think you can't live in full freedom unless you're completely okay with losing as well. And I don't want young kids to be like, oh, it's okay to lose, because I want you to work extremely hard. I want you to be disciplined. I want you to try to become your best self. I want my sons to know that it's okay to lose, but you deserve to win, But I think in the deserving to win, you also have to, when you're putting yourself out there and being the man in the arena and being the guy who puts himself completely out there, you're going to take losses. It's going to happen. So,
dude, yeah, and you said it too, like putting yourself out there, like to go that hard, you have to be willing to be able to look failure in the eye if you're going to exhaust yourself that much, because in my getting to watch you being your friend and everything else, you do that. It's like you're saying it, and like, yeah, people, the big Mike Chandler supporters, like if I'm sitting there fan of Mike Chandler, yeah, we want to go to the top. Why don't you want to talk about the goals of winning? But like knowing you, you put everything into everything. So the fact that you come up short, it's like you can sleep well at night because I am doing fucking everything I absolutely can, and I leave it all out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just but it's also just a metaphor for life, man. This is what we do. And this is life in every single endeavor that we choose to go down, every single road that we choose to go down. And mine is fighting in a cage and collecting scars and black eyes and broken noses. And, it's my story, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's an awesome platform. And I'm not upset about it. The sun rose this morning. 2 boys woke up this morning. My wife woke up this morning. We had some coffee, and life is good. And I'm on the bus.
Fuck the rest.
Yeah.
Fuck them all, dude. That's what Versace would always say. You just see a random message, fuck them all.
Dude, I love it.
You're like, damn, that sucks. You didn't get the head coaching job. Who cares? Fuck them all.
Yeah.
And just keep it moving.
Yeah.
But
and that's the kind of freedom that you want to be able to live in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You seem calm. This is the calmest I've ever seen you. Like, it's from an energy standpoint for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the future holds, You're
what do you think it holds? Like, let's play sandbox. What are we?
I don't know. I know what the future holds for the next couple months. Enjoy the holidays, see what shakes out. The title is, at this point, I'm not talking about the title, but the title fight's happening in February. Conor's coming back eventually. I'm on the short list for that fight, I'm sure. But I don't know.
Hey, that's the fight though, right? That is the fight.
I think
Chandler McGregor.
I think
McGregor Chandler.
Vegas. I think at this point it's hard for me to.
I mean, Vegas.
I'm not a big self promoter, but like, yeah, I'm
Listen, we're here.
Yeah,
we're
the boys got you.
We will self promote you forever.
I'm the guy that people want to watch for sure.
What do you
for
want
better or worse? Oh, me and McGregor fight international fight week of next year, July.
International.
Well, yeah, the UFC always does international fight week in July. That's when all the people from around the world come to Vegas, watch the fights.
Okay.
I thought the biggest fight of the year. It's usually one of the biggest cards of the year. Usually they do one July and like November, like this Madison Square Garden one was the biggest, the other big one that they do. And that's what I think Chandler versus McGregor, July. I have yes, did I lose this last fight? Absolutely. But did my stock rise? I think so. Do people want to watch me fight? Absolutely. Will people ever not buy the pay-per-view if I'm on it? I think there's a long shot. I think everybody wants to see me fight. I'm going to sit back and wait and see how it all plays out, wait for the phone call. Because I think without sounding too narcissistic, I think I'm the guy that everyone wants to watch fight, and I'm not going to do it unless it's something that excites me and something that I'm willing to leave my family for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
You know?
people don't know. Like, it's not like you're just hanging out and be like, all right, I got to fight in a week. I'll see you guys. Like,
Yeah.
you have to literally go and leave your family.
Yeah.
And basically just take over this
Lose
completely
25
different
pounds.
life.
Yeah, and it's a complete place mentally, physically, and spiritually that is absolutely draining too. I mean, just I'm sitting here 186 pounds sitting on the bus right now. I was just 156, 72 hours ago.
Yeah.
And of course,
Wild.
yeah, and of
So
course, some
wild.
of that is inflammation, and I stuffed myself after the fight, and
What'd you eat?
flew. I did have pizza actually. I am not a big carb guy, but I had pizza. My boy Jimmy picked up some Ray's pizza, and
Ray's pizza does
yeah. So
Yeah.
Get extra
we
cheese.
went back to I don't even like it. Actually had too much cheese on it. I wish they would have went light on the cheese. But yeah, we went back and we had some pizza, and it was up till 4 a.m. because I didn't get back to the hotel till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It was just a late night. So it's been, my body's kind of out of whack, off kilter, because I've been sleeping so perfectly, eating so light, eating so lean, and all of a sudden my body's like, yo, bro, what are you doing?
What are we up to right
So
now?
I'm fasting today until like another 2 hours, 3 hours, just to like let my body, took some smooth move tea to clean it all out. So maybe I'm less than 186 now, but
Clean that piece out.
But anyways,
30
yeah.
pound swing.
yeah. But anyways, no, back to the
I mean, it's inflammation. It's this, brother, 30 pounds.
Yeah,
You're
back
speaking
to the-
strictly to the rest to the fight culture of like, yeah, maybe I did X, Y, and Z, but everybody else is like, yo, 30 fucking pounds.
Yeah,
back to-
people,
yeah.
people pause that and call somebody. I was like, hey, did you hear you lost 30
You might
pounds?
get a text from one of his fight buddies like, hey, come on, why are you lying? Like, some of that's inflammation, some of that's it's like the 99.9% of everybody out there is like, yo, 30 pounds
Dog.
is insane.
Well, it's a lot of it was the dehydration and the rehydration. I mean, I was 175 within 12 hours.
Mhm.
Drink two gallons of water, and I'm almost 175. But yeah, going back to the preparation and what gets me off of what gets me out of the house, what gets me out of working on the other businesses that I'm doing, and the investments, and just the family and friends and beautiful life that I get to live. What's going to pull me away from that is something that excites me, that I have to go be away from the family for, that is going to, take care of me and my family, going to continue to increase the platform. That's where I'm at this point. And I love fighting for the UFC. I just talked to Hunter Campbell yesterday, who's the number 2 in charge at the UFC, basically. And, I love them. I love the opportunity they have given me. They love me. Dana called me the Arturo Gatti of the UFC, which is true inside of the cage, I think, for about as accurate of a depiction as you could have. But it's got to be something that really excites me, because I'm not going to do it for just anything, any fight, and it's just another fight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Got to be McGregor.
McGregor makes a lot of sense. We'll see what he says.
It does. It does make a lot of
You
sense.
heard it here first on the bus.
JP, you got anything with the fighting stuff? Our UFC correspondent, JP Hovey.
More just a question if you'd want to rank your opponents that you've had in the UFC, toughest to, I don't want to say least toughest, but
Yeah, toughest to the opposite of that.
Man, I would go Gaethje toughest, Poirier second, only because of the way that the fight went, because Poirier was very very light on the ground. I think he was actually he was resting a little bit under there. I don't know if he was really trying to get away a lot, which is actually probably really smart, because I think he was conserving gas.
There's no
underneath-
question. There's no
underneath
question.
me while I was just trying to hammer away, which is very smart. Shows his veteran mentality. Then it would go Oliveira after that, then Ferguson, then Hooker. But the Hooker fight didn't really count because it was so quick. It wasn't even really that much. He didn't really get to show his toughness. Dan Hooker looked great this last fight, so
He needed that win.
yeah. Dak Prescott's tweeting me. That's crazy.
No, that's the revenge. That's
I know. I know.
Dak Prescott revenge
I
tour.
saw Josh Keller, but
Dak Prescott revenge tour.
yeah, well, I
that's
mean,
a crazy list.
It is a wild.
yeah, I mean, hey, if I had to walk away right now, I'd be like, oh, First 5 fights in the UFC, only 5 fights in the UFC. We did our work. Peace. I'm out. Barry Sanders.
So yeah.
Would you? Who would you want to fight next if not Conor?
I don't know. It's got, like I said, it's got to be a big fight. Nate Diaz just left, but he could come back whenever. I would fight Nate Diaz. I would fight George Masvidal. I want to fight these guys at 170 too.
Probably be healthier for you.
Healthier, dude. And these guys aren't that big.
I mean, imagine, bro. You're
Probably be healthier for you.
Well, that was the
Your
thing.
entire career, you're cut literally
That's
30
the
pounds
thing.
every
I don't-
training camp.
I'm not
And
going to
you're
make.
older. Like, it's not like you're some young cat going to these tournaments
Well,
anymore.
that's the thing. I'm older, but I've also proven that it's kind of like I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've never missed weight my entire life. I've never pulled out of a fight. That's something I wear as a badge of honor. So fight these guys at 170. These guys who are 155ers at 170. It would be naive and somewhat delusional for me to sit here and talk about the title. I'm not nowhere close to fighting for the title now. So I'm not gonna, fight 5 fights in the top 5 again to try to get back to the title at 155 and all that kind of stuff. Do I think it's still a possibility in the cards for me with another big win? I could fight Gaethje again. I could fight, who else is in the top 5? Oliveira. There's the Oliveira fight. I like the Oliveira fight. I would love that rematch. I would love the Gaethje rematch. But then you got these young, hungry guys too that are coming in. Rafael Fiziev, who's actually a training partner of mine. I think he trained with us for a while and went back to Russia or Thailand or whatever.
Those are similar.
We'll see. I have no idea, boys.
Where would you want to fight Conor at? Well, wait.
170 for sure. At his biggest, at his baggest, and his most dangerous.
He did put out a little picture the other day.
265 in the bank.
He is.
Yeah.
He is looking rocked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you beat faster in a fight? This is from Zach Deaton. Who could you beat faster in a fight out of me and Taylor?
Oh my God. I don't know, dude.
It'd probably be me.
It'd be harder.
Answer.
It'd be hard. It'd be hard. I don't know.
I'm almost 6 weeks post-op ACL surgery.
Yeah, how are you doing? Let's talk about you.
I'm doing
dude.
fantastic. You don't need to worry about me and boss. We're living. I literally walked a drunken marathon this past weekend, and I have hardly any swelling in my knee.
That is
So
awesome.
life literally could not be better right now.
Dude, let's go.
Yeah, it's been amazing. But who do you think you would beat in a fight, me or Will? Who do you beat faster?
Will. Only because I'm looking at you right now. I would definitely beat Taylor, dude. I would crush Taylor so bad.
Probably, dude. There is film of me getting knocked out, so
Oh yeah.
twice.
But not in a fight. Not in a fight, though.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. There's film of me getting knocked out in a fight. So
You been in a fight before, Will?
Not really.
dang, dude.
No.
But you got ground game.
Oh, I
He
got
does.
some
Great
ground game.
wrestling,
Will?
dude.
Has tossed my ass around in wrestling
I
so
got-
many
I
times
got
at this
some ground
point.
game.
Great wrestling.
Yeah.
Do you think you could hang with him in wrestling?
Hang with Chandler in wrestling?
Bring the ego
The
out.
crazy part of me says maybe. Yeah.
I love that.
Not at 190. Not when I'm 190.
Maybe one day just give me a little bit of time. But dude, wrestling's fucking crazy.
What about Cody?
Bro. What, him and Cody wrestling?
Yeah. For everybody's listening, Cody is one of Will's brothers.
Dude, I don't know. I'd have to tap in with Cody, but Cody would
Cody and me?
wrestling.
Yeah. You get about four.
Hey,
you get
I'm
about
not
four
just-
whiskeys and Cody.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna stop now. He ain't gonna stop.
How much does he weigh now?
I mean, he's on the mat every day.
Oh yeah, because he's coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got that old man.
You guys are probably similar. I don't know. He's not. He's in the 60s, so it'd probably be tough since you're heavier and you guys are like good wrestlers.
Yeah.
But that'd be fun. Get him out here for Nashville for a day. We go to training camp. We just roll around on the mats a little bit.
I'll wear a singlet. Or a Mizzou singlet. He can wear his Nebraska singlet.
Get the little ankle bracelets out there,
Anklets.
green and red.
Anklets too.
Yeah, the anklets.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be funny.
You dust him. I'll say it for you.
I'll dust him.
Love Cody to death.
14-1 probably. I wouldn't quite tech fall him.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. Just
I'm
depends.
joking, Cody.
I think it depends how much wrestling you do year round, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the technicality of just wrestling.
I probably do more wrestling than him.
You think so?
Well, probably.
Then you probably would beat him.
Does he wrestle with the guys?
Yeah.
He wrestles live with the guys?
Yeah, Cody's thought of Cody's like wanted to like do the fucking little vet tournaments that.
Yeah.
Because he rocks with the Perler circuit all year round.
Oh, yep.
I'm
That's
still
right.
out of my league right now.
So all those 5-7 day intensive camps and stuff like that, like he still brags about it. He's still like, you see the competitiveness in him about it. It'd be funny. I mean, you were a stud.
I was.
Wrestling.
I used to be.
Yeah, but still, you're still fighting. You still wrestle all the time.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Who knows? One day we check it out one day. I know.
Oh, yeah, well, for sure.
Cody would want to wrestle. Cody would do it. Like,
Yeah, if we called Cody right now, he'd be here in 4 hours.
yeah,
He would be like, "You want me to do what?"
When I get done,
Canceled, boys.
yeah.
yeah, when I get done fighting, I'm not going to do any more wrestling or
Yeah.
any more of that stuff. I'll probably just lift weights. Just strength and conditioning.
What else can we hit on? How's your walk on your app and everything going?
It's going good.
Walk
We're
that out.
we're still waiting to get approved by the App Store. We're approved on Android, Google Play right now, but you can go to walkonfit.com, get the web-based version. And we actually did, Connor, how many episodes did we do Fight Week?
Probably 8 or 10.
10. Yeah, we did like 10 episodes of all behind the scenes stuff too. So UFC
Following you through your regimen and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah, so all of those videos are exclusively on walkonfit.com, only for members. And obviously we have all of our training programs, diet, nutrition, supplementation, all my secrets I've picked up over the last 22 years. So all the boys, go out there, subscribe, walkonfit.com. Hopefully it'll be done on your iPhone soon, but you can go to walkonfit.com and get the web-based version, which will look exactly like the actual app. It's just not available on the App Store yet.
Mhm.
So Apple, freaking approve it, dude.
I love that, man. Anything you want to
That's
talk
the-
about? I know we've basically put the spotlight.
We've
right
been
on top of
peppering
the
you
old-
the whole-
time.
Yeah,
This
you
whole
guys
time.
have. No, I'm joking. No, man, life is good. We're on the bus.
I love it.
I want to ask
It's a
about this.
tradition.
I want to ask about this carnivore diet.
This last question brought to you by Roback. It is known as the Roback question. Use code BOYS on roback.com for 20% off your first purchase. That's RHOBACK.com, code BOYS, BOYS. They work with the best collegiate athletes from Will Anderson to the boy Michael Mayer to Bijan Robinson. They also just dropped new performance joggers. You guys are going to love these. Code BOYS, 20% off.
Back to the episode. Why carnivore diet? What's the benefits of doing that for the next 2 months?
I just like red meat.
Is now
It's
it
more
has to
just-
be red meat?
No, I mean you can do chicken.
Yeah.
I just think yeah, chicken thighs are delicious, but I think red meat is just the best, honestly.
But isn't red
less
meat have a harder
hormones.
time digesting? Isn't that making it more
Allegedly, that's
difficult?
what they say. But I feel phenomenal just eating red meat. Last night I had just a huge ribeye with some butter on it, grass-fed butter. And actually we had some sushi too. They ordered some sushi, so I just had some fish as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, I do like 80% carnivore. I still eat a lot of vegetables here
Yeah.
and there, but it's basically just no carbs.
No carbs
are
at
the,
all.
Carbs are the enemy.
Carbs are the enemy.
Carbs are the enemy. If anybody wants to lose weight, go a month without eating starchy carbs, bread, pasta, even potatoes and that kind of stuff. Just go off of it and see what happens.
100% off of it.
100% off of it. We don't need it. The food pyramid, which said what 10, 11 servings of carbohydrates.
Yeah, that was the base.
created.
That was the base of the pyramid.
Yes, it was created.
You follow that thing too in elementary school. You're like, this is
Yes, it was created as a marketing tool for the agricultural industry, saying we need this much wheat. It was
Yeah.
made by a guy out of Minnesota who had ties to the wheat industry. So it was just we were sold a huge lie. That protein way up at the top two, whatever, up
Yeah,
the
the
top two
second tier.
should be at the very bottom.
And what are
Mainly
those two
protein, vegetables and fruits, and then if you're gonna do dairy and stuff, which I don't do dairy.
Yeah, you say
But-
grass-fed butter. I try to stay away from dairy
Mm-hmm.
just because I will just follow whoever.
Yeah.
If you're like, hey, this is the best route to go, I'm like, done. I'm not touching dairy ever again. I pretty much just stay away from gluten and dairy. But I mean, your boy,
Yeah, but you're a
Loses
big
some weight.
guy who's always trying to keep weight on as well too.
not right now. Not right now.
No,
I think I'm at like 286. So I think I'm gonna bump it back down. Probably try to get in the 70s,
There you go,
60s maybe.
nimble.
Touch the
A little
50s.
nimble. That's the 50s.
Touch the
Just dabble
50s.
in the 50s.
So you think the carnivore diet is like the move for all that, but just staying lean.
I mean, I've liked it. I've enjoyed it. Yes, staying lean for sure. And then if you follow like the two people really to follow, like Liver King, Carnivore MD.
So you are a supporter of Liver King.
Not
Supporter is a strong word, but
not exactly.
Yeah.
You are a supporter.
He's kind of a he's turned himself into a straight up meme guy where he's just doing crazy stuff. But
yeah.
do I think that generations before us ate a lot more organs than we do? Absolutely. Do I think organs have been demonized and carbohydrates have been praised? Absolutely. And I think it's backwards. Eating nose to tail is something that should be looked at because that's, generations before us ate that way.
Mhm.
Not being afraid of liver, heart, intestines, kidneys. I haven't ate testicle.
I mean, the
we
generation
should
before
eat
us
some
had
testicles.
to
I'll eat
kinda
some
eat that
testicles.
way.
Yeah, they had to,
They
but
had to.
but
And
also
who knows if they wanted to? You know what I'm
well,
saying?
but also but
Touch a little bit of bread, it'll change your life.
yeah, in a bad way.
Yeah.
Dude.
Should have saw some spots over the weekend.
Oh, buddy. We had 3 meals the whole weekend.
Yeah.
2 of them were at Mr. Spots, which is like Philly cheesesteak, wings,
Yeah.
chili cheese fries, milkshakes. And then we went to like a nice little steakhouse, which is service, by the way. Awful service, but the food's pretty good.
Well, yeah, you're talking to a guy. I just had pizza the other night, so I still feel
You had
guilty.
pizza one
I
night
still
in the
feel
last
guilty
12
about
weeks.
that.
You're going to
Actually,
be all right.
Last time I had pizza was at our Memorial Day party or whatever party that was.
In May?
That was the last time I had pizza.
Shit, I had pizza last night.
And then just tonight, and then or 3 nights ago, whatever night it was. And I'm not going back.
It's not going back. So
Straight steaks.
carbs, 0 carbs.
Well, I mean, I get
You
carbs.
can't
You get
100%
carbs
stay
from
away from
vegetables.
carbs.
You get carbs from vegetables. I really enjoyed eating a lot of dates this training camp, actually, which obviously is sugars, which is carbs, but it also helped me stay regular. But when I say carbs, I mean when you think of carbs, you think of grains, pastas,
Mhm.
breads, potatoes, those things. Sweet potato used sparingly a little bit if you're training hard. The problem is everybody listening to this, chances are they don't train hard enough to actually need that much carbs.
So how do you keep your energy while you're working out?
Fats, protein, and mental and physical intestinal fortitude of a Missouri boy.
Fucking Missouri guys, dude. Show me state.
Go.
Not allowed to see,
No, but I mean,
they're showing you.
The UFC makes all of our meals throughout fight week and stuff. So after my weigh-ins and stuff, I was eating a decent amount of carbs. I was eating a lot of sweet potato and stuff. And I even questioned it. I was like, hey, I haven't been doing a lot of carbs. And he's like, it's okay. Throw some carbs in there. So energy level felt fine for the fight. Whether it looked that way or not, I don't know.
I'm sold. I'm carnivore now.
Carnivore, steaks, grill
Next
out.
2 months.
We're grilling it out.
Send you weekly updated pictures
There you go. Just send me a picture of your steaks back
Yeah.
and forth.
every single time.
Butter on top.
Only doing red meat.
That's mainly what I like because I feel like it's so hard to find chicken that's not just pumped full of crap that's
Yeah.
gonna make you grow a third ear.
Chicken's looking like that Jack Kangaroo.
You think it's hard to find chicken? We have the perfect chicken for you right now that this episode is actually going to be presented by
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
It is.
Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Somebody say chicken?
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my god.
Holy
Nice
cow.
transition, JP.
Man.
What a little surprise we got
Dang,
here.
there we go. Hand breaded with joy.
Hand breaded with joy.
That's what it says. Hand breaded.
Appreciate
with joy.
that. Appreciate that.
What do we got here?
I'm carnivore now. I can't be eating that breaded. Just kidding. Hey, Bojangles does hit though.
Let's go.
You about to open that thing up?
Just want to take a peek.
What's it talking about?
Diet starts tomorrow.
Dude, the diet started today and I went off yesterday, boys. I went off yesterday. Had some
When you
Shake
got home?
Shack.
Ooh,
Yeah.
how good was that?
Buddy, so I didn't tell you boys, we got back from the airport, landed in Nashville. Taylor texted me, hey, can you pick me up at the airport at 12:30? I go, huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I said yes, and I did it. So then I went to the best soft serve ice cream place of all time.
Thank you.
Yes, got a blizzy.
What'd you get?
They had a pumpkin pie one. I was in the fall mood, so I got the pumpkin pie one, large. Then I pick up Talon, go to the house, get a little hungry. Shake Shack, burger, fries,
Oh my gosh.
shake.
No way. What kind of shake? Cookies and cream?
It gets worse, bro. Yes.
Cookies and cream?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God, they got some good
It
cookies.
gets
and cream.
worse. Then everyone's coming. Like not everyone's coming over.
Gets
Taylor had
better.
some family in town. Her friend Natalie came over the house, and we're like, "Hey, we're watching Yellowstone." Yellowstone wasn't watched, but pizza was ordered, and so was Cold Stone Creamery.
Oh my gosh. You had a 10,000 calorie
Buddy,
day, dude.
I went off yesterday, and I kept like playing that little mind game. You know, we were talking the other day.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it starts tomorrow. Like, it starts
Yeah.
tomorrow. So I'm like guilt-free eating. I feel like a piece of shit. Like, you feel so bad after eating pizza twice in the last 6 months. I'm like, listen to my day yesterday.
That's a personal problem, though. The dude's
Yeah.
cut 30 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat
I just
this.
licked my
Yeah.
cold
Brother,
foam off
you're
this.
Yeah, it's cool foam.
Yeah. How good was that?
So I legit went a little crazy yesterday. I woke up today, clear eyes, full heart. I'm ready to start.
Are you good?
I'm ready to go right now. Got a workout in, got buried. Don't know if you guys can fucking tell.
I see the pump, bro.
Fucking
This
tell.
thing-
The fucking
It was
pump.
legs. I'm just kidding. So yeah, it starts today. I haven't eaten yet today though. What time is it?
Me neither. 12. 1.
1. I got lunch at 1:30 at the house, boys. I'm about to call and be like, no vegetables, no carbs.
I'm late
He's
for
about to have the easiest life of all time, like cooking for carnivore. Heat up, steak and butter on top. You're
sous
gonna
vide
meal.
sear. Sous vide sear. Done.
It literally. Do you have to do butter? I get.
You don't have
like,
to.
This is a weird fear, but I'm fearful of dairy. I know what I just said yesterday, but I'm saying when I'm taking my.
Fearful of dairy.
No, listen.
It's been ice cream
No,
3 days in a row.
I'm not lactose intolerant at all. I've done my blood work, and they're like, "Yeah, you're good with dairy." But for whatever reason, I'm like, I feel like dairy is also an enemy. Like when I'm going crazy, like I did yesterday, I have no issue. There's no problem. I'm not getting up in the middle of the night shitting my pants. But I also, like, if I'm taking my shit serious, which I do now,
Mhm.
I look at that butter. I look at that butter, and I get nervous. It starts today, boys. Everything starts at some point, and it was always day one at some point. The first inaugural Bussin Bowl was Saturday. At 800 years from now, they'll be talking about what a legendary trophy game this is. But it had to start at some time.
Yeah.
Had
And you
to.
can always pause it.
What do you mean?
You can always pause the diet.
No.
But I'm saying you can. You're saying no right now. For me, like the minute you break, you failed. You can't work like that. You got to have some fluidity with your lifestyle.
I should be taking notes. My boy's got year 10 alive and well.
I'm
Mhm.
just saying
I
you can
should be
pause the
taking
diet.
notes.
Like, hey, I'm carnivore. Guess what? I'm carnivore right now. I might pause it when I eat this Bojangles real quick.
Yeah, you just
Hey,
pause
and
it.
then when the
Then you hit
Bojangles
play again.
when the
you're good.
Bojangles gets my system, you press play. You can play the
Buddy,
game
that's
again.
not a diet.
It is.
It is.
It
yeah.
is.
That's not
Every
a
diet has a
JP.
pause.
You're confined by the way society has put these norms on our brains. Just start talking like I'm the big brain in it. Yeah.
Big brain in it.
Don't buy into the matrix, dude.
Yeah.
Like carnivore, there's some fried chicken right there. Eat it. It's meat.
Yeah, but it's breaded.
Yeah.
No carbs.
But you love it. But you love it.
We haven't had carbs, dude.
I
Wow.
love Bojangles.
Oh, wow.
I'm obsessed with Bojangles. It literally breaks my heart to say I can't eat Bojangles right now. I was there yesterday too.
Would you want to be part of the intro with us?
Sure. I gotta get the body work though.
You gotta leave.
Yeah, it started right now.
Oh, you can take off. You can take
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Chandler.
Yeah. Hey, that was
Thank
awesome.
you guys for having me.
Hey,
Thank
for
you guys
real.
for having me.
For real, I appreciate you. I know
Yeah,
I know
unreal.
we're really diving into like meticulous things. I
Sounds
like
good.
I'm just in my head like I want to like you're sitting here with the top 5 fighter in the world. I
Yeah.
want to know all this stuff, and you've came on after pretty much your last 3 or 4 fights.
Win or lose, we
And
come on the bus.
Yeah, and we do all the stuff, all of that stuff. If you guys want to know more about Mike's mentality, I'm sure everybody who's followed along that's a tier 1 already knows it. I wanted to get in more. We wanted to get in more like the gritty details of like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the side without the before the perspective, that little part in between.
Mhm.
But I appreciate you, man. This
Thank
is
you
fucking
guys.
awesome.
Thank you guys for having me. Walk home.
What Will said.
Yeah. Well, Will said.